Who?
You know, Scott Alden, that guy.
Is he coming on? I thought he wasn't going to be on this week.
He said definite maybe to me earlier today. We talked on the phone. We've got
busy. He's got shit to get done.
Well, supposedly he's got some convention going on or something next week.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's crazy.
So you're volunteering for them, right? For the Board Game Geek?
Oh, hell no. Not a BGG Con. BGG Con, my time.
I thought you did like...
Gen Con, I did.
But I could have sworn that you helped out in the library and stuff. I've been there when you helped out in the library and stuff.
Well, just like the day when they're getting ready to go, I've jumped in and given a hand. But that's about it. I'm not on Team Geek for the show or anything.
Well, I'm sure you're going to bring your jersey, though.
Oh, well, duh. That and my Boom jersey will have to be there.
Do you have a new jersey, like the new color?
Yeah, I've got the new one.
I'll have to find my retro. I'll support the retro colors.
I've got the bedazzled new jersey because
that's right.
Because they were all jacked up.
That's gonna be like a rarity, one of a kind.
Yeah, because I had to bedazzle it myself for an hour and a half at Gen Con.
Well,
so there.
Whatever works.
Hey, whatever.
There we go. There's Kabuki Kid and company. So I have a grievance.
What's your grievance? You've always got a grievance.
Well, no, I mean, so this one has it's very geeky centered. But so obviously Disney Plus launched what, Tuesday, was it?
Yeah,
this week. Disney Channel? Yeah, Disney Channel launched, whatever. So because of the fact that of what I do and needing my phone and our kids and my mother is on our plan and things like that, we have unlimited talk and basically I can use my the data as
you got all the datas.
All the datas, right? So with Verizon, if you have unlimited data, you get a free year of Disney Plus. You just, it was just which, I mean, if you think about it, it's like what, 7 times 2, 14, $84. I mean, it's just, whatever. It's it's free. Who cares, right? Great, fine, super. So I'm sure I'm not the only person in the world that has that as well. I'm sure there's lots of other people that have unlimited datas as well. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that have signed up for the week free. It's weird that they have a week free and not a month free, but I figured they'd just get the people when they can. But they're charging $7 and for a week free or whatever, and then so everybody who at that point, I'm going to say nobody has spent a dime on the channel. Like literally nobody has spent a penny. Either you've got your week free or you've got some sort of a thing where you have it for free or whatever. Like admittedly, a lot of people are going to get charged eventually for it. But as of right now, none of them, zero money, nothing spent, whatever. Immediately take to social media, Twitter, Facebook, what the buffering, Disney, what's the problem? How can you not? You have billions of dollars. How can't you have? Why don't you have better servers? Why don't you have better? And I just okay, it's free. None of you have spent a penny on it, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was like one of those things where it was it's like everybody knows that when you start up a what's we're looking for here, when you start up a service, you're never gonna increase your server to the maximum possible level it's gonna be, where everybody's gonna log in, every single Star Wars person's gonna log in, one to watch Mandalorian, all those things. So they're never gonna have the server up to that level because there's no point to have it at peak level, because eventually it's going to drop down and you're just going to be like, okay, fine, whatever.
And name a new service that's popular that went perfect from when you pulled the trigger. Almost none, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just, And then like I was pointing out like one of I have a friend who's a like stand-up comic who is actually, you know, and I mean not he's like locally famous like in the upper Midwest. He's a pretty big name, which, you know, whatever that means, you know. But I mean he's actually pretty funny, and like I follow him on Twitter and I follow him on Facebook because he normally makes funny little jokes, stuff like that. And then he like made his little complaint about like, you know, how can they not have better service or whatever. And I was just like, well, and I tried to explain that to him, and he was just like, he had all defensive. He's like, I was being rhetorical. I was like, no, you weren't. You're being like just generically
bitching like everybody else.
Yeah, you're being generically angry about things. Which
So I waited till today to buy into Disney Plus. I waited till see what people were saying. Waited for the first couple of days to go by where I wouldn't get frustrated because I couldn't get the stuff. So it worked when I got it. Oh my God, there's awesome stuff on Disney Plus.
Well, I think it's what it is there's a lot of nostalgia factor.
Oh,
right?
old people like me, it's awesome. But I mean, and even beyond that, I did not expect much. I thought, okay, we're gonna have Mandalorian, we'll have Star Wars, and we'll have a rotating thing of some Disney movies. But there's so much more than that. I mean, You've got the classic Mickey and Donald and Goofy cartoons on there. You've got, and the cartoon movies, you've got that stuff. The National Geographic shows look really good. The old school Marvel cartoons, Star Wars Rebels is on there because I've never finished that. And I just saw so much stuff on there, and then the nostalgia stuff, like freaking Gummy Bears is on there. I loved Gummy Bears, man. That show was awesome when I was young.
Yeah.
And DuckTales and Chippendale Rescue Rangers and all that cool stuff.
DuckTales on there. I'll fully admit that's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty excited about that being on there.
So I can make my kids watch all the crap I used to watch.
Fair enough. I mean, totally. I mean, it's definitely one of those things where, yeah, man. I mean, it's just it's good stuff. I mean, the old like Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I remember watching that. The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Some stuff that doesn't hold up great, like the Black Hole. I turned that on and flipped through it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll give you that. It was, yeah, I mean, I just remember that from, I remember being scared of the Maximilian robot as a kid. Like that thing was creepy as heck. I mean, who makes a robot that has like whirring blades as their thing? I don't get that at all. It seems weird to me.
About the only thing I remember from when I was a kid was the robot and the fact that their blasters had a top and a bottom laser on them. And that's about the one thing I remember from that movie.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the old robot, like.
Oh, yeah, the old janky, half broken to bits robot.
The old robot. And, yeah, I mean, it was just like there was like weird stuff going on, and then the ending like didn't make a lot of sense. If you were like a kid, you were like, "What happened? What's going on?" Like it was tough to like grasp exactly.
And I don't even remember it, so I have no memory of that at all.
But I mean, that was their answer, right, to the that was the answer to whatchamajig. I mean, I can't even think.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that was their answer.
That's not a very good answer to Star Wars.
Well, I mean, it was a way to
capitalize on space madness, if you will.
Space madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. There's also like all of the Simpsons. Like every single episode of The Simpsons, which I tried to watch.
Which will take you 8 years to watch it.
True.
In real time.
But I tried to go back and watch them, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just, here's like season 15. I probably haven't seen any of these. And I watched like one episode, and I was just like, I got like one half chuckle out of it. And I was just like, oh, yeah, this isn't really good.
I mean, Simpsons is fine, but I got bored of it and quit watching it a long time ago. And there was a reason I quit watching it, because every episode kind of felt the same and rehashed after a point.
Yeah.
But whatever.
No, I would agree.
So the chat was talking about it. Looks like we've got board game theming on South Park again this week, so I'll have to watch that tomorrow on the Hulu.
Well, somebody said they were like, it's just, I don't know, that they're playing Twilight Struggle, which is cool. Which, that's awesome. That they're having some fun with it. They're getting clever, if you will. Trying to remember. Then I think that, which just it's getting more and more popular, right? Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I like the fact that our hobby is becoming more and more interesting. So and people are getting more and more excited about it and more interested in it. So.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Comedy Central. There's a clip of them in the Dice Studs Gamers Club playing down in the basement. They've got a dice tray out and they've got playing some D&D action.
So I got to ask, does it look like they're making fun of Dice Tower or like satirizing Dice Tower, or is it just like,
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it. This whole episode, the title of the episode is Board Girls, BOARD. So I think the episode must have a lot of board game related stuff. So girls are joining their board gamers club. So I have no idea what it's going to be.
Girls in the club.
So I'll have to see it tomorrow night because I did not watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Or see it tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to watch it at work or something.
Yeah, that
doesn't usually work for me. But
hey, there's Richard. We'll add him on. I like how Richard is so far
smooth.
What's the game?
What you playing, Richard?
This is Honey Buzz.
Oh yeah, that's from the same guys who did the remake of Atlantis Rising.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
That's
very good.
Is it on Kickstarter now, or no? It's going to be.
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter.
No, it's on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's only on for 2 more weeks. They got it to me way late.
Yeah,
I think. Oh, because I told them I wasn't going to cover it, but then they circled back around. Oh, that's right. Because I told them none of your shitty memory stuff. Nobody wants that, and they said, "Okay, fine." And then they eventually relented and designed a different way to play the game, so you don't have to do memory. And so I said, "Okay, well, I'll cover it then." But now I'm coming.
Okay, time out. What do you mean by memory stuff? What's
he doesn't like memory games?
It's this right here. There's it's bees pollinating, bringing nectar back to the hive, all that kind of stuff. Although it's much heavy. There's a lot of these games. It's much heavier than most of them. But the interesting thing is, these tiles are all face down, and there's a bit of deduction because the purple ones, there's like a 50% chance it's going to be this type of flower or this type of flower, and there are certain moments when you actually get to peek and look and say, "Oh, I know what this is. Oh, but it wasn't what I needed. I went fishing, I didn't get what I wanted. I put it back face down. Only I know what it is now, and I've got to remember that a half hour later when I'm looking for what it is." And it's like, who's got time for that in a big heavy euro or in a medium weight euro? So they redesigned, or they left this in as one way to play, and they've actually now changed it to be the advanced way to play. And instead done a thing where, you get an extra little guy, and instead of just peeking and hoping you get what you want, like building up a mental map of everything, you can just move a little guy around and pick stuff up, using the same resources you would to peek at things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So here's my question.
Okie dokie.
A while ago, and I'm not going to mention names or anything, but a fairly prolific Board Game Geek poster, which like if you were like part of the heyday of the Board Game Geek posting on things, but a very prolific poster of opinions and what have you on Board Game Geek, which they may still be for all I know, but I mean I've since no longer really. I'm not on Board Game Geek enough to like check and see if other people are posting and things like that.
Oh wow, really?
Well, it's who has time to peruse everything, man. You know, I mean, it's your job, right? I mean, it's like but it's just like, I mean, I don't go into like rules question forums and things like that.
Sure,
But
sure.
there was an opinion put forth that if a game, if you could improve your ability in playing a game by remembering what has been done prior. So like it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, if you can remember what cards have been used, if you remember what actions have been taken, but wouldn't be represented by the board game in such a way that you would be able to look at the board game and see it.
Mm-hmm.
For just let's say counting cards. I mean, just perfect example, counting cards. But if you were somebody that had some sort of eidetic memory or something like that you could actually count the cards, it would give you a leg up on the other people playing. That they said it was completely fine for people that didn't have that ability to have just basically have a piece of paper and make notes as the game goes on.
An eidetic memory, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, so they could reference their notes at any time to say, "Oh, wait, no, we've already used up all of the A cards, so you can't possibly be doing what you're saying you're doing. So I'm going to say this." That
right.
And there was like a huge argument, like a debate about it as to whether or not that it was because and basically it was a memory thing. And so, where would you stand on that?
I think that's ridiculous. I don't think there should be a rule against writing down. If I'm bad at math, am I not allowed to count on my fingers?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I would have thought, had I been around at the time and had I been foolhardy enough to go into whatever crazy dream of a thread that was.
You can count on your fingers.
I would have argued pro noting.
Pro noting?
Yeah, oh, totally. I'm all about them notes.
All right.
Okay, if you use your fingers, you can't take your shoes off.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, that's cool. I mean, I'm kind of the same part. I mean, but then again, I'm also the opinion that like if it comes down to like you need to do that for some reason, just like I don't know. I mean, like insert any reason why. I mean, it's just like I would be like, there's something kind of like that's what I'm looking for here. Like if you want I'd be of the opinion that like maybe you should be playing a different game.
That would be my immediate follow on. But why bother playing such a shitty game that forces you to do something that's clearly not fun? Again, that was my response to this game, which it's like a sharp little game. But I was like, sorry guys, I am going to pass on covering it.
Is it because you have poor memory, or
I have an okay memory. I mean, I have a good memory in some ways and terrible at. I'm sure all people have strengths and weaknesses in their memory, but it's just no fun. It's just no fun to have to. Oh, what was it? Oh, I think this is the. Oh no, it wasn't. Fuck you. I mean, there's no fun to be had there. That is not why I want to play.
What about deduction games? Here, not to keep.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the interesting thing. There is a deduction element because if you peek at this flower, basically, if you have built your honeycomb such that you could claim this flower, you would do so. And if you don't, and you put it back, that's information for me. Now I know what that isn't, and so I can start. And so that's a big part of this game. There's actually a fair bit of deduction. You know probabilistically what it might have been or what else. And, as other players make moves, you can create them on a map. That's actually really cool. And actually, when I film this, probably in the next couple of days, I am going to complain about their original design is better than the one where you don't have to do memory. You can just move around and pick things up, like almost like a little pick up and deliver kind of thing. The memory deduction thing is very, very cool. And they are foolhardy not to have shipped with a pad of paper where everybody can just take notes on what everybody has done. Oh, yeah, Lance took that. And, okay, he peeked. He didn't take it. Therefore, it cannot be cherry blossoms. It has to be something else. And, why not do that? I mean,
because you have paper.
What? Well, no, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer stretch goal for them.
Okay.
I know.
Like a custom
how much does that cost?
A custom pad.
A pad of paper is relatively cheap in the grand scheme of accessory add-ons, right, Lance?
You mean like a
Yes.
Yeah.
custom set with like
Yeah, like
icons
yeah,
and
I'm sorry, yeah, not just not literally blank
I was
paper,
gonna say.
a customized. It'd be equivalent of your own right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, just from offhand, if you wanted like a pad of printed paper that had like that you would throw in that have like 50 sheets,
Yeah.
and people say, why not 100? Why not 150? And you'd be like, because people only use 50, and then you throw the PDF on BGG and go ahead and download it if you play the game more.
Yeah.
I mean,
or
you're-
laminate the last 4 when you get down to that many. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you really love the game that much.
you're talking. You're talking between a nickel and a dime per copy.
Wow. Okay.
Not
Yeah,
even.
so
I mean,
that's a no-brainer.
and that's between the production cost and also the pack fee, for the warehouse to put it in, and plus the slightly added weight,
Oh, okay.
to place it in there. So I
Mhm.
mean, relatively next to nothing.
Well, then I will try to flex my influencer muscle, complain about that in the video, and see if they'll add it as a last-minute stretch goal.
No, admittedly, I mean, it depends on. I mean, I have no idea who they're using for manufacturing. But then again, I've talked to so many manufacturers lately in the last like few weeks of my job, just because of the fact that manufacturers can send people to us for for fulfillment. So it's just like so it's like talking to them and explaining to them, hey, it's like just trying to make sure that we're suggesting them as possible, putting them on our list of possible manufacturers when Kickstarter people contact us, and making sure they're doing the same. So there's a lot of board game manufacturers out there now. I mean, there's more and more, like, all the time.
Really?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it used to be like it was just and Panda is still like the gold standard. I mean, they're the ones that like. I can remember when Panda Game Manufacturing like first really came on the scene about like 5 years ago. Like I mean, there were manufacturers. They were before, but they had like decided, you know what, we can actually like have a booth at like Gen Con and like and actually like go out and talk to people. I can remember like having a conversation, like talking to Panda about like them like reaching out and like talking to board game video people, just like, oh, it's like, can you, just like, is it possible that you would mention that, we were the manufacturer and stuff like that. But now it's like, you got, I mean, there's so many. You throw a rock, just like, Panda and Long Pack and
Any up-and-comers in America?
There's a couple people I know that want to be a board game manufacturer in America, but I mean, they just can't compete on price. I mean, you definitely are. You could find people that like could manufacture like something that would be a small thing. Like, I mean, I like, if you could find, I bet dollars to donuts within the next like couple years or whatever, there'll be people that are doing like models, like just resin models or whatever for board games, or like small print run of miniatures, things like that. Because I mean, you can get an injection molding machine for a fairly decent outlay of cash, to have that. But then like you can start after that. I mean, those injection molding things, they can just sit there and pump out, like Reaper Bones quality miniatures. Like Reaper, all of their Bones minis. I mean, their first few runs were made in China, but now they have their own.
Oh, really?
They have their own in Texas. I mean, I've seen it. It's just,
wow.
So they just make their own miniatures now, which I'm sure cutting out a manufacturer out of the, saves them a ton of cash. So, I could see that. But I mean, as far as like the whole process, I mean, the whole thing with all the cardboard and all the wood and all the plastic and everything like that, I mean, it's still just cheaper. I mean, even with the slow boat from China, it's just like,
is Rio Grande just eating their own profits because they do everything in America, right?
No, I think Rio Grande does. Well, okay, two things. I mean, and once again, I speak from no guaranteed secondhand information. So my understanding with Jay at Rio Grande is that most of his games are relatively short on components. So like if you look at Rio Grande, like I mean, you look at Dominion, it's just a bunch of cards, right? I mean,
Right.
so there, and I think Rio Grande publishes in Europe. I think that, and you can find, like if you go, there's like a couple of manufacturers in Poland that are relatively cheap.
Made in the USA with pride, says my Rio Grande box here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Terraforming
He's probably
Mars.
saving money on art because their art presentation is
And even like
not
they're-
up to modern standards. How's that?
that's right here on their huge New Frontiers, which is a monster production.
Yeah.
Tons of special components and whatnot. I mean, you're right. Normally, they're much less ambitious than typical games, but these last couple have been much bigger.
Well, then
It must be someplace.
then I can I will happily just say I just don't know. I mean obviously he's making it work, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it probably helps a lot that that Rio Grande. I mean, okay. Other thing is that I mean the worst kept secret in the hobby is that Jay has said for 5 years now how he wants out. Like he's like,
Right.
I mean, how he just wants to be done. Like when he sold off Carcassonne to Z-Man, I think it was, if I remember correctly, back in the day. And how like he's basically just going down to his Race for the Galaxy, Dominion. I don't even think he has. Does he have Arctic Scavenger still, or did he? I think maybe he sold that off to somebody else or something. But I mean, regardless, it's one of those things where that's like the worst kept secret in the world is the fact that like he's done and he wants to be done and he doesn't want to make games. But then every year he keeps coming back for more and he keeps publishing more and like he still has the giant room at the worst kept the best kept secret in the world, the Rio Grande Games room at Gen Con that like apparently nobody knows about, that you can just go up to, and he has all of his Rio Grande games set up on tables and you can just go up there and play them. And usually in the evenings he has like free food and drinks. Like you can just walk. Yeah, it's like I've been there. It's like
so basically he's just got Dominion money to burn.
Well, and that's what I think. I think maybe he's able to. I mean, and once again, purely anecdotal. I have no idea one way or the other. Is that they? I think it's one of those things where they just he's able to subsidize it, right? It's just like Dominion keeps selling, so I can use that profit to like do other stuff. So.
Yeah, and certainly nobody has ever accused Rio Grande of having top-notch components.
No
rule.
If you ever get a chance to meet him, Jay's a super nice guy. I don't know if you've ever met him. But...
No, I think I did once years ago, but I don't know if I knew who he was, or I don't remember what it was. But yeah, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know him from a hole in the wall. I mean, he just he's I'm guessing he's in.
That's a nice look too.
Oh my God, that is the worst.
Oh,
that is not entirely undeadish.
Yeah, he looks fairly undead there. There he comes back. Wow.
No, you dropped out for like
you locked up and had the most bizarre look. Go look at YouTube real quick.
No. So like, yeah, I mean, and like you wouldn't know he like was the king of the Rio Grande games.
Right. He just looks like average Joe.
Well, and also, I mean, he's the godfather of the industry as well, because he's the one who had the foresight to start bringing over European games and introducing them to. That's correct, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned manufacturing in the U.S. Ludofact has a plant in Indiana now.
Oh, all right.
Well, I didn't.
It's an hour from Indianapolis, or a little less. It's in Lafayette.
Well, yeah, did the tariffs ever go through? I remember there was going to be, but then they were kind of held back. And have the tariff?
No tariff as of yet, but it's one of those, like we tell, like
it's always looming, right? It's a sort
whenever
of
we do an estimate for fulfillment, we always just say, look, the possibility, this is an estimate, and this isn't guaranteed. If a tariff should happen between the time that your game gets done manufacturing and it gets to us, I mean, you're going to have to figure probably 15% into the cost, and there's no real, I've heard I've heard of like some board game publishers ways that they think that they can get around it by like kind of being clever. I'll just leave it at that. Which, you know, if they ever have to jump that hurdle, I'm sure they can. You know, I've heard of like, you know, one of those things because of like the tariff will be on like, is it on like the MSRP value? It is on actual value. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, if there's a tariff, you could. And I'm not saying anybody should do this, but I've definitely heard of people like said, you know, it's like, oh, we've got a plan in place where we would tell our factory to say that the game, the production on the game cost X when it really was Y, and then we would make it up on the back end to the factory by just having them charge us X plus Y for you know, like labor. So, you know, it was like, so they could lower the perceived cost in customs of what their board game was when it reaches, because of the fact that the manifest says, oh, well, you know, this stuff is worth, you know, 30 grand instead of 60 grand because they have their manufacturer just basically, you know, charge them double for the labor so the factory got their money, and just the manifest just shows it's like, no, you know, yeah. So I've heard that. Now, do I know
you've heard that as a plan, not as something people are actively doing?
I don't think anybody's actually done it, but I've heard that as like a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do that kind of stuff all the time when I was in Malta just to get people to send games for me to cover. They always had to, declare this as having a value no greater than $20. Otherwise, I'll end up paying $30 in import.
Oh, I remember having to send you games.
Oh, yeah.
From TMG. So, yeah, we would always say, this is a pile of rocks.
Yes, but what is the retail value of these rocks? With the import office would demand.
Yeah, so I mean that's there. I mean that's like how that goes. I mean, so when do you get into BGG Con there, Richard?
Hold on, I will look. Probably not till the last second, knowing Jen. We are flying. We will be arriving in Dallas on Tuesday. It looks like in the afternoon.
Sweet.
And we'll be flying out on Sunday evening and at like 5. Because I assume it's a half day on Sunday, right?
Basically.
Yeah, I mean it's a total down day.
Yeah, it's all the kind of
everybody's shutting down, everybody's trying to get their last game in. Not much business at that point.
I get to DFW around noon on Tuesday, it looks like.
I get in on Monday. I gotta.
Ooh, aren't you fancy, Mr. Fun again?
Well, yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. It's just like, so I get in on Monday, which will be cool and all. We can't set up till Tuesday, which fine, whatever. Don't care. But it's one of those things where, you know, it's still, you're flying into Dallas and it's like a 30-minute car ride to like the hotel. It's just ridiculous that like it'll. Like,
are you not going to? I mean, were we supposed to fly to Love Field instead of?
Yeah, they told us to fly to Love Field, but I mean, I have
no option.
I have a direct flight from Fargo to Dallas, and
yeah,
it's
I'm
just
going
like
direct to Dallas too.
It's the direct flight is cheap, and it's like not having to switch planes is. I mean, that's just
and
so.
flying to Love Field costs more for me.
What was that, my friend?
Yeah. It looks like I'm just looking up whatever Jen booked, and it seems that we are also.
That's what Uber's for, right?
Dallas is DFW, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
No, we are flying to DAL, which I assume is
Love Field.
Love Field. Yeah.
Love, exciting.
Although actually, that's crappy because I want to go to Dallas Fort Worth because they've got a Salt Lake barbecue on the premises, which is the best barbecue in the world.
So, what all will Jen have at her booth?
Things made of glass.
Well, I know that, dickhead. I was asking more for examples. So I know what I might buy. You see,
she's been. I'll go grab her if you want.
No, I was just curious.
Hey, you keep that romantic to yourself there, buddy.
She's been making stuff like crazy.
Yeah. So I already ordered a few things from when you were shipping from Malta. So
which
Keep the
was
support going.
cheaper than now that when we ship in America.
Just funny.
That
Or
is
sad.
weird.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Both.
ridiculous.
I remember your trip to Gen Con when you were walking around with the little Plano box of wares, humping them around a little
Oh,
bit.
geez, yes, yeah, that was ridiculous. Just a walking or stand. And she had me wear a shirt that she had printed up saying, "Ask me about Gamer Glass" or something like that. She might as well put a sandwich board over me or something.
You'll have to. I don't. Have you ever? I can't even talk. Have you ever met Jeff DeBoer, the guy who owns Fun Again, Richard?
I doubt it.
I think.
And he's just spitting distance from me.
Yeah, he's expressed interest in meeting you. So it'd be cool if you can pull by the Fun Again area. Which at the Fun Again room, it's like its own room, and so we're actually going to have like multiple board game tables with like Essen games set up for people to play. So you'll have to I can teach you some of them.
Cool.
I'm sure you've already been sent a lot of them. So
nothing showing up.
No, really.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting that. Hopefully, I'll be able to pick some up there and schlep them back.
Yesterday's news.
Yeah, yep, totally. If I can't be bothered to hop the puddle, then I'm a waste of time.
So, do you have a list of things you want to try at the con?
Well, I would have to go to the Board Game Geek preview.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was actually a preview, isn't there?
Board Game Geek preview.
The hot games list came out, so we
on.
know what's on the table.
Let's see. I have been doing it. I have been filling it up as things pop up, although I have not actually looked at what my list is. So if I were to filter by, let's see, are there any must-have or interested things I would like to demo? Apply. I don't know. Right, and I'm waiting. We're waiting. Must-have. All right. This is wrong. That is totally wrong. Oh, am I looking at the Essen one? No, I'm looking at Gen Con 2019. Damn you. Board Game Geek BGG Con preview. Google. No, not the Gen Con one.
Just go to Board Game Geek. It's right on the front page. There's a giant.
Not for me.
What?
My front page is customized.
No, aren't you fancy?
Yes, I am. All right, but geez, how am I going to freaking find this? I've just searched for it. All right, I will try to go. Maybe I still have it. Okay. Oh wait, no, I do still have announcements because you can't get rid of that. I bet it's there, isn't it?
Well, there's a link in the chat for you, so you don't have to keep hunting.
Oh, I would never find it without you. All right, we copy, paste. Let's make some good radio, folks.
Right. Walk us through those clicks.
Yeah. All right. And then, yay, we're here. Now I will filter by must have, interested, and demo. And the demos I would like to spend time with include Inner Compass from AEG. Very, very interesting. They're a much more traditional gamery type thing, but this is a very touchy-feely, all about, a Euro-style game where we're getting in touch with our feelings from Oscar Granerud and Daniel Peterson, who are fast becoming designers to watch, I would have to say. Because
Daniel Peterson
they had 3 games this year. Bloomtown and what were the other ones? Flamme Rouge last year. Oh, Copenhagen and Copenhagen Roll and Write. So, and there's another. Oh, yeah, and Deep Blue. So these guys are on fire. So that's interesting to me. And Lost Atlantis, not the sinking Atlantis one, but Lost Atlantis, which is described as a 3X game under the sea. I think we talked about that before. Fingers crossed, it's the correct X's. And Masters of Night, I don't know. Actually, I think they just contacted me about filming this the other day, and I haven't looked at the rules yet. And I thought, oh, maybe I don't have to read the rules. Maybe they'll just teach me there. That would be nice for a change. And speaking of Rio Grande games, Nevada City. It's from Rio Grande, so sure. Underwater. Why is Underwater Cities only a demo? It was for sale at Essen. That's a bummer.
Are you talking about
the expansion?
I know that there were certain games that we weren't allowed to get for some reason. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I mean, I think it's because of a. I'm sorry, what?
Your mule?
Yeah.
Oh.
There are certain ones that just for I don't want to once again throw shade on some weird reasoning that I don't know exactly why, but there were some things that like and it might have been just because like that's like an RGG thing, and like that's like we it was one of those things where unfortunately like we weren't able to do so. Now that being said, the expansion's amazing. And I love my copy of it. Yeah.
So you brought your copy back.
Oh, I just went. Yeah.
I believe to quote Lance Meister, I got mine, Jack.
Yeah. So
2019.
well, if you like Underwater Cities, which I love,
which I do, it's a fantastic game.
I think you'll really
do no wrong.
And I would like to say this about another thing. So I told Keith this, and I don't know if I convinced him or not, but so the What's Your Game Railroad Revolution,
yes.
It was. So What's Your Game? Like a lot of people were like, "Eh."
Oh yeah, I was shocked. Keith got rid of his copy.
Well, it's on my pile next to my door.
So a lot of people were about Railroad Revolution, because it wasn't like What's Your Game. People are of the opinion that like that's like they make heavier games, and the Railroad Revolution was a little too.
Oh yeah, it was definitely mid-weighty.
Yeah, mid-weighty. So there's an expansion for it, which isn't really an expansion. It's called Railroad Evolution, and it basically makes Railroad Revolution the heavy game that they were planning on printing, but then they actually like. They stepped away from like the heavier, deeper stuff, and then so basically with Railroad Evolution, you can use those rules and the components to basically make like the heavy version of Railroad Revolution, which it's really good. So if you're a What's Your Game person and you were maybe a little bit nonplussed with that one, you definitely can. That's an expansion to look for, and it's not like it's. I don't even really think it's expansion. It's just like a. What's what I'm looking for here?
Are you saying it's a standalone?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, because it's like you have to have Railroad Revolution because the box is like let me see if the box is only like that big, and all it is like it's
a patch.
Yeah, it's like you're making a patch. Patches for like video games. Where's my patch notes?
Mm-hmm.
I one of my guilty pleasures is watching this guy's channel that talks about all the like MMOs that died. Like why did so and so die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched the one about Hellgate London. Why did Hellgate London die or whatever? It's like, I remember that game. I remember being super excited about Hellgate London. What?
Yeah, in the sewers under London, right?
Yeah, and it had like that.
I remember that. I played that, and then it died. Yeah.
It was like first person shooter Diablo.
Yes, that was a good sales pitch.
Yeah,
I actually liked the game. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was enjoyable.
Well, I remember it
just wasn't what it was promised.
Well, no, the major problem is that when it came out, the game was actually fairly good. One, it didn't have a huge amount of content. So once you got through the stuff that they had created, you became kind of like, oh, well, there's really nothing left to do. It was just grinding at that point. And two, they published it with like a really bad memory leak. That like you could only play like you'd be sitting there playing and it would just chew up the RAM that your system had. So it would eventually just get slower and slower, and eventually it would just shut down, and you'd have to restart to reset the RAM on your computer and then like play again. So you can only play for a certain number of hours before you would just force you to reboot. And for a game that like you're playing Diablo and you're trying to like do your instance and trying to like get deeper and deeper so you can get better and better gear, having to like completely restart.
Sure.
They were just pioneering parental controls to limit screen time. I mean, come on, they were thinking ahead.
Had a gorgeous cinematic. I remember like the opening scene or whatever, the cinematic of like the like them racing away from the giant demon, like and like the female protagonist hunter or whatever, and like had the child and racing through the old church while the giant demon chases them down, and then like the woman ends up sacrificing herself and saving the child, and allows the door to close, and so the kid makes it, but then the demon like kills the woman. And gorgeous opening cinematic, but as that was back when like you would have then we started having to have those disclaimers where actual footage, or no, you actually have things where it's like actual game footage. They'd actually say actual game footage, so you'd be like, this you actually see this when you play the game, and like instead of like a combination of that and what have you. So I don't know. Video games have passed.
Richard, you said you didn't agree with one of my cold choices. Which one was it?
I'll tell you after Lance lets Bauer in.
Oh.
Worst host ever.
You're
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh no, really? I'm sorry about that.
Your fault. No, I didn't put 5 minutes ago. I just assumed it said Lance knew I was here.
No, but he's left me hanging for a while in the past as well.
You have to wait for him to take a breath.
Minimize the Pornhub.
Derp.
I'd have to look at your list again.
I'm assuming it was going to be the Star Trek game.
What, Expeditions?
Yeah. Star Trek Encounters.
Oh, Encounters?
Frontiers. Sorry, I can't read.
Frontiers. No, I don't have a problem with that. I don't remember that. You must have done a follow-up. You're that. I didn't look at the picture.
It was in the pile. It was towards the bottom.
Let's see. It's another episode of Help Keith Cole. All right. Facebook. Alaboom. Will you give me that, Google? No, you won't. Of course not. You have to actually go into Facebook and look for things. God, that is the worst.
What game you got in front of you there, Richard?
This is Honey Buzz, which is on Kickstarter now. Neat little game.
You're a neat little game.
I am. I think so.
So I played a new one tonight. I saw you had a video for it, but I didn't watch it. What'd you think about It's a Wonderful World from
well, if I have a video of it, you must know what I think, right? Because I'm a shill, and I only I sell my soul for pennies.
Right.
For big board game money.
So that's the card drafting game. I was only able to get the French version of it because in the giant box from Essen. So I gotta it's all language independent. So
yeah, totally.
What do you mean giant? Is this? Do I have the giant box? Let me see.
It's like a giant cube. The one I have.
Really?
Yeah, this one.
No, mine's twice as deep as that.
What?
Oh, wow.
What?
Why? What's in it?
Because there's a legacy game on the inside that you can play.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Why is that not here?
Because that's just basically the Seven Wonders version of it. I mean, like this is just like the game you can replay over and over again. The one that they had, I wasn't able to get an English version. I had to get like the French version of it, but like it's a you will play and it was so big that I actually had it shipped back through Fun Again. It'll be waiting at BGGCon for me. It's basically like I said, yeah, it's like you all like play and it's like you go through different eras or whatever, and like so it's like there's like a legacy aspect to it.
That's I wonder, because we just shot a video for that, and a couple of people from my game night, and that was one of my biggest complaints with the game was when I wanted more bells and whistles, I wanted more special abilities, and I wonder if that adds them, because I thought it was a really good game.
You got some dirt.
I do think it's a really good game.
Did you just get done eating a bowl of chocolate ice cream and your face is all dirty there?
What, are you admiring my spectacular goatee I got here? Yeah, I've been working on this for
on November. Is that it?
50 days. After November, I'm just going straight stash for a week. Just nothing but stash. man, why would they do that? That's such a weird
It's insane.
thing.
I can't believe I don't even know anything about this.
Well, it was. I believe it's the Kickstarter version. I mean, so like if you backed it on Kickstarter, you got the it's like it might be a campaign mode. Like Kabuki Kid might be right in there, but yeah. So
I know there's this campaign mode in the solo version of the game, but man, that's
Yeah, I don't mean it's one of those things where it was like completely. Paul Tompkins asked this question: has anyone played Offshore? If that's the game I'm thinking about, the Norwegian oil rig game, I would say definitely family weight, but it has a wonderful push your luck aspect that I absolutely love. That like you pull tiles out of your bag and you slowly drill down and like. Things like depending upon like what do you find because you're drilling for like natural gas or oil, and the cool thing is that the kind of screw job thing that you can do is that like to subsidize the cost of drilling, you can convince somebody that's in the same area to help with the price of drilling down there, and then like you'll share in the profits, but only the person that it actually owns the drill site, not the people that are helping, gets to decide whether or not you keep drawing tiles. And you can actually draw enough tiles that eventually like you have an explosion or a blowback and people actually suffer. And so you can convince people it's like, oh, you really should help out here. And then you draw the tiles and you basically, jam them, like, why are you doing this? It's like, well, because it'll hurt you more than it'll hurt me for this oil rig to have some malfeasance, if you will. So, So I enjoyed that, like the canoodling aspect, but it's definitely a lighter game. I would say it's like light medium, but really really cool. Like as far as that aspect goes, that's like the one part that I really like. So, but yeah,
back to It's a Wonderful World. This Kickstarter looks amazing. I am so puzzled as to why they didn't include all the content. Like maybe not the upgraded components and whatnot, but like the stuff on the Kickstarter looks really awesome, and I don't know why they wouldn't put it on here. Like there's solo scenarios, but nothing like what they're talking about on the Kickstarter. That is bizarre. I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, yeah, it's really. I mean, so it's published in France, and as Lance said, it's only available in France. Just a super deluxe edition from I don't know how to say Le Boat de Jus.
Le Boat de Jus. The same people did one of my favorite dudes on a map games, Clash of Rage, which is like great minis, great dudes on a map game. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and Lucky Duck has picked it up for printing worldwide, and they just picked up the basic game, and none of it.
I wonder if they're going to do the expansion. I wonder if that's what they're doing here.
Well, I'm while we've been talking about it, I've been looking because I'm really curious about this because I really like the game and I would like more. And apparently, Le Boat de Jus, or however they say them, they have posted an unboxing, and somebody says they said English version coming soon.
Oh, nice.
Which would really suck if it's a complete box, and then you're screwed if you have the Lucky Duck edition. So they better do it as a separate.
Well, I don't think Le Boat de Jus does anything in America, though. I think that's all Europe. I don't think I've ever seen anything from them outside of the stuff I got at Essen.
Yeah.
No.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just so bizarre. I can't think of any other situation where a company's taken the game from took it.
Lean into it.
They brought it to another country and then they stripped it down of like gameplay. Like that is just such an odd choice. I'd like to talk to Vincent and see what the reasoning behind that was. Maybe it's like
I would imagine whatever's in this cool super thing is probably way too much and it'd be super expensive, and they just right.
I think it's just cards. It looks like it's just cards and scenarios because like they have upgraded components like nicer tokens and like little trades.
Oh, because you're looking at the Kickstarter page. That's what I should be looking at.
Yeah, but the actual extra meat and potatoes just looks like cards and rules. Because I mean, it is a very minimalist game for the most part. It's cubes, a couple boards and cards. That being said, I thought it was a great game. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it might make my top 10. I'm not quite sure because there's obviously several nice Essen things, but it was It's certainly a top 20 of the year. I mean, it's such a great engine builder. Really nice, really fun.
Yeah.
Heritage Edition, the Heritage Campaign. Man,
Yep, that's one I got. Yep.
yeah, they didn't tell me anything about this when I covered it for them. That's so weird. Was all this stuff a stretch goal?
Mm.
Yeah,
They have
it
50
was.
bajillion stretch goals.
Chad Roberts mentioned the Magnificent. If you like heavy games, where like the theme does not really come through in the gameplay at all, Magnificent is
fair.
quite good.
Yeah, I agree.
I did not feel the theme in the Magnificent at all, but it definitely is a fun little push and pull the push the buttons, pull the levers game. So
It would certainly help. I mean, if the developers would just take the time to try to integrate the theme. Why? Look, I can go wander the countryside and collect gems. Great. How about you call them what they are functionally, which is employees for your goddamn carnival, because they help you. They do work. So why are you calling them gems? Why aren't they little? I've never understand publishers. Euro designers and developers just want to hide their theme.
well, it's because the theme probably doesn't exist until like so much after, you know.
You think?
Yeah.
Yes, that could be true, I suppose. Well,
I mean, I've definitely seen Euro games that are being from, once again, you know, Euro games from Euro designers. I've definitely seen ones of like that where, you know, when they present them to publishers, it's just like it's themeless.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's just it's and then they're like, and they do that on purpose to say, you know, you can make this however you want. You know, I mean, I've heard, you know, like Zev, like, you know, he's like, oh yeah, you know, it's just like, so now they present it. It's like, oh, do I want this to be, you know, mining asteroids, you know, around Jupiter, or, you know, do I want this to be, you know, just fishing at the pond? You know, it's just like they you know, and then you can just go however you want. So I'm guessing that's why it turns out.
By the way, to your earlier question, Keith, the only thing that I feel from your first picture where you put the majority of your pile, Oddville, dude, WTF? That's an awesome little game.
Yeah, it
Oddville
is an
is quite
awesome little
good.
game. I just don't get it played. That's why it's over there.
No,
It's not
Oddville
gone
is.
yet.
You don't have these to play. You have these to cherish.
Yeah, no, it's like it's
I just threw two more on there while we were sitting here while Lance was talking.
What?
Two more just went to the pile.
remember
Bloody Inn
like,
and Cold Bear in the card game just went to the pile.
I can agree with those. So like the whole thing, does it spark joy? You know, like the
you
declutter
go.
your life
Exactly,
thing.
yeah.
You know, I remember Marco or you know, Marco, the Marco Wargamer, the board game video guy, reviewer guy, fabulous, funny guy.
We know who
Yeah.
Marco is. Go on.
Some people might not, but I remember when
You're watching the Alaboom.
I remember when she was just starting to like come into, like, people were getting excited about this sparking joy, and she said, what sparks joy? The idea of her being on fire falling off a cliff. You know, just like, I was like,
Wait, who? Who did
Marco,
you say
like
about?
the Japanese woman who has a show on Netflix about like decluttering your life, and like getting your, and then like one of the first things she does is like she says, take all of your clothes and throw them on a bed, and then you see just how much clothes you have, like it's like this giant mountain of clothes, and you realize that you could get by on, you know, 3 pairs of pants and 5 t-shirts, you know, and that's like the beginning of like getting rid of stuff or whatever. And like he made the crack of, you know what sparks joy, and I forget what the name of the actress or the name of the host of that show is. The idea of seeing so and so being set on fire and thrown off a cliff. It's just like,
Not a fan.
not a fan at all. I've often thought, so like, you know, it's like I've often thought of like the end goal of what I want my downstairs to look like, you know, as far as like calyx shelves and like table and setup and everything like that. And I realized that I just need to get rid of like 95% of my stuff, and then just over time it'll just slowly repopulate, and I need to just get over the hump on that.
I'm in a situation where my games are starting to strangely disappear, and I don't understand how that's even remotely happening. But I discovered today my cherished copy of Walnut Grove that I've had forever and is super out of print is just gone. It's just not in my life anymore. I don't understand how that happened. And it's really
Did it make the move? Maybe.
All the boxes,
It's in a box somewhere.
we lost 3 boxes. When the pallet came to us, the entire top was sheared off and 3 boxes disappeared. And we did lose, or no, maybe it was more than that. We lost a bunch of stuff, but all of my game boxes came. And I'm thinking maybe stuff like Walnut Grove at the last minute went into some other box. And therefore, even though I got all my boxes, I forgot I'd put some games amongst the clothes that were lost and stuff like that. But I wouldn't think I would do that. But nobody's sneaking in here and stealing them. So,
well, here, check out this copy of Walnut Grove I have right over here.
Oh, if you did, I'd be very sad.
Yeah.
Ironically, I was looking for it today because it has the perfect color cubes I need for this prototype. Because the prototype came with these glass baubles that are very, very difficult to read on camera. And I said, use the cubes in it. I spent like a half an hour looking for it. I had Jen come in and double check, scan all the shelves to make sure I wasn't blind.
Don't you have a giant bin of wooden cubes by now?
No. I always find a way to get rid of my prototypes. There's when I was in Malta, I was friends with a guy who ran the games department of the University of Malta. And so I would just always donate all those prototypes to them. And they'd have design exercises and design jams, and they'd use them for stuff like that. Now, Guardian Games in Portland sometimes will take them. And I'm going to sign some of them, and they're going to go in some charity auction in Seattle, some of the other ones I've got. So I always try. Nothing's worse than throwing away a box.
I used to feel bad about it, but now it's like I just don't. I mean, like I have a 6 foot pile of prototype boxes that I'm gonna probably go through tomorrow and take anything out of it that I think I might want for some reason, and then just the rest of it just goes in the trash.
Not recyclable?
Well, or like the boxes go to. In Minnesota, you can't drive 6 blocks without having a recycle depot.
Sure.
So we're a very blue state in that regard. So though recent studies show that like the recycling plants, cause more pollution than the recycling actually saves, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I'm a 2-minute drive away from a depot where I can just throw all my cardboard and my grass clippings and branches, and they even took everybody's pumpkins, like the jack-o'-lanterns. Like you just went there and they were using them to make like mulch and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's newspapers. Yeah. So I'll package everything up. I throw it in the back of my Explorer, and then I just drive over there and dump it. And and the one thing about that makes me mad is that it's just a place with 20 dumpsters basically. You pull into this, it's like across the street from a park board area of like a bunch of soccer fields and baseball fields. So I always pull in there, and I'm like, it's like, okay, it's just like, and it's like, sometimes people don't break down their boxes, which you're supposed to, but whatever, it happens. It's, at least you're bringing the boxes over. But I'll get there, and it's just like people are like, well, I didn't know where I should take this box spring and mattress, so I'm just gonna throw it in the middle of this yard here, and just like, it's just like, I just, it's. You wish you could just catch the person when they're doing that, but of course, they're not doing it when there's a bunch of people around. Obviously, they're just. But yeah, it's what a giant pain in the butt that is.
Back to the prototypes, I just want to share one of my favorite things I've ever got to do in the 9 years I've worked where I was I used to save all my prototypes, just like. Because one of the first ones I got, someone came back to me 2 years later and was like, "Can I have my prototype back?" I was like, "What the hell?" So I started saving them after that point, and I had a whole closet full of them. And eventually, I was just like, "You know what? Screw this! I'm so done with this." And we have it's called the sensory table, a water table. that they have in classrooms, and I filled up the entire thing to the brim with components. And the kids made games, and it was the thing for months and months. Just all across my classroom was like they all have their own saved name tags. Every probably 10 to 15 games the kids were just making, and that was so cool to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Terribly imbalanced games, though. Terribly imbalanced.
I have bins upon bins upon bins of they're filled with cubes, discs, crystals, little tiny spaceships, little tiny minis. I mean, it's just like of all the stuff that I'm just like, all right. And then my wife just keeps saying, just drive it over to the school. They'll take it. They'll find a use for it. And I'm just like,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I need to just do that and just
there you go.
Like, here you go. Here's a giant
actually
tub of.
I wouldn't even recommend schools necessarily. I'd go to your local daycares and just say, hey, I got all these components, and they will.
So the kids can choke on them and die.
I was just going to say,
we're not talking about 3-4-year-olds, but like 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. They play games. They like games, and the idea of making a game. I mean, kids, did you make games when you were a kid? I'm just saying. As a school, they're most likely going to get used as counting tools.
I didn't make games. I made masterpieces.
I bet your games suck. Just
I do remember me and my friend Joe Giefer, who lived 2 doors down from me. If you remember those little mussels, remember those like little mussel figurines that were like they were pink. And like you bought them in random packs, and they were, if you look up mussels, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they were basically like little tiny wrestlers, and they were like aliens and alien wrestlers and all these things. And we had a ton of those, and we came up with a miniatures fighting game using those things. And we would determine like how, because like some of them would have like 5 legs, some would have 2, and we would just arbitrarily look at the miniature and say, okay, this guy's got axes instead of hands. He's got 2 legs and he's kind of tall. So, okay, he's got this many hit points. His attacks do this much damage, and he can move this fast. And we just had a ruler, and we would just move him on the table, and we would fight each other and stuff like that. I think that game was amazing. Of course, the rose-colored glasses, make it sound like it was just the most fantastic thing ever. But I'm sure it was. Not as great as I think, or as I remember. But what are you gonna do?
Not as good as Oddville, which Keith should totally keep.
I put it back on the shelf. There you go.
Oh, you shamed him.
It's a small box, and it's not saving me that much space pulling it out. So.
Exactly.
Oh.
Because the main reason for the cull is to make room for when I get more new shit.
Makes me wish I had a button bar so I could have Keith. It's like it's kind of small, so it's saving me some space whenever I'm pulling it out.
I impulse bought this weekend.
See, that's a good game.
Lower it.
This game is cool.
Sierra West, that game's amazing.
I've heard
game
good
is
things about
awesome. I'm trying to figure out boats and banjos mode right now.
Johnny Pack has a game coming out from Bellwether that I got to look at. Bellwether is the people that did Freshwater Fly and Coldwater Crown, and it isn't a fishing game from Bellwether, but it's like I think it Kickstarter launch on January, and it is it's stupendously good.
Oh wow!
Yeah, keep your eye open for Bellwether, like. I can't think. Dennis Hoyle. Dennis Hoyle is the guy, not the heir to the Hoyle card fortune. However, as I had once theorized, but not really. I just was joking. But I'm right. I ran into Dennis at Essen, and like he sold out of his English version of Freshwater Fly on like the second day of Essen. It was just like people just bought it up like crazy, which I think Freshwater Fly is a really good game. I like Coldwater Crown more though. I
don't know which I like more, but Freshwater Fly was a lot of fun.
It was. I just like the Coldwater Crown aspect of like when you use the space, you flip it over, so it's like you change the board basically for the people that follow you, and so like you have to decide, your actions, whatever. And the Coldwater Crown expansion is really cool. It adds a lot to it. I kept on bugging him. I said, dude, you need to do an ice fishing game about fishing in Minnesota.
The
And then
freshwater
he said-
flies got the fly reel.
Yeah, that is a
Which
really cool
so
thing.
Cool.
But then he told me that I should design it, and I was like, well, let's not be crazy. I'm not going to be designing an ice fishing game, for Minnesota.
Let's just rein it in a little bit.
Yeah, let's look. You just make it. I'll give you the money, then we'll both move on. So,
First, do you get to go to BGG Con?
Nope, never got to it, unfortunately. Eventually.
One of these days.
I was thinking about taking up
it's the one
Gilmore on an offer. Did you guys
it's the
see that?
one bastion of decency that I can still rely on that won't be infected by
Jonathan
cheap.
Gilmore said he was totally serious. He's like, hey, does anyone want to come up with me and just go to it? And I was like, I was tempted. I was very tempted.
He'll
Hey,
sleep in a stairwell.
I would like to say this about Johnny G. He's going through a little rough patch in his life, so I'm not going to go any more deeper than that. But if you can just spare Johnny Gilmore a happy thought in your head and send it his way, I'd appreciate that, because Mr. Gilmore is one of the nicest, most decent people you'll ever meet in the board game hobby. So, and then I'm gonna stop talking. So, but yeah, just send him a good thought, and if you lean that way, send him a prayer too. Just try to give him some peace in his head. So he's not in danger. He's just he's not.
He's
like,
posted on Facebook about it.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't want to air other people's laundry, right? If you want to, you could definitely go and dig it out and find out what I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna discuss somebody else's life online. So
yeah.
Other than the fact that, like I said,
since he did make a whole post about announcing it to everybody, I completely understand.
Well, you know what? I just
Hey, you're making it sound like it's a serious. I mean, it's very serious, but you're making it sound like it's something that's hidden. I mean,
well, just because I've talked to him a few times on the phone, and I know that he's just really sad, and it breaks my heart that he's not happy right now. So,
he is an awesome dude. I agree.
So, yeah, I mean,
a hell of a designer.
And I'm a big believer in positive energy in the universe. That can find people and in some way help them. So
I've just looked up Jonathan Gilmore on Facebook. I spend very little time on Facebook. Why have you not taken him up on this offer, Forrest?
Because I have wasted too much PTO because my kids fucking get sick every other week. I would totally, because he's in Ohio too. Like, it would
so
be.
He's not even that far from you?
Nope, but I don't have PTO. Like, I have like 20 hours left for the year, and my kids are just like vomiting every 15 minutes. I swear.
Well, then it's time to quit and go full-time Power Game Corner.
Oh, I thought you were going to say get rid of my kids. Then I could afford that, maybe. Oh, I don't know. Did I mention to you guys that I'm a paid reviewer now with the whole Game Crafter thing?
Yeah,
you're a shill too.
Oh, yeah.
You're a shill just like Richard.
That was
Have
really
you started
interesting.
doing it though?
What?
Have you started?
Yeah, I did it 2 months now, and it's interesting. It's really interesting. I think it's led me to some conclusions. I think I'm gonna do more unboxing videos, which I don't see the appeal. Yeah, people like them, and apparently the way I do it, I've had quite a few people say, "Hey, I like how you do your unboxing videos."
You just open it and dump the shit on the table and say this is a dumb video and walk away.
I don't. I never. I'm always on the ground. I'm never up here. What I do is I try to be more entertaining when I do the unboxing videos. So I'll get myself really pumped up I'll get high on life, and then I do.
Yeah, I bet. I think there's a
I've
joke.
noticed a direct correlation between the entertainment of my unboxing videos when I am down here and when I'm high on life.
Oh, unboxing videos are just the worst.
I agree with you completely, Keith, but people watch them. I did one for
I don't understand it. Half of my
either.
joy is cracking open the box and looking at the contents without having had that spoiled.
Well, that way they don't have to buy it and they're able to live.
I guess, whatever.
I agree with you 100%.
Hey, look, punch boards. Yay.
But here's the thing. They're easy to make. And if people like them, I mean, who the hell am I to say, no, you're wrong. I'm not going to do these. So
Someone with integrity.
get out of here. I posted one 2 days ago, just for not even a miniatures game for that. It's a Wonderful World, and I got 100 views on it already. Just I don't understand it, but people like it.
Yes, they do.
I just don't get it. Never
Gotta
have.
go where the money is. Speaking of this game, this B game here, I believe it's the first time I've ever seen Joel Eddy do a paid preview.
Whoa! What if he's looking to do it?
That's the one where Joel has the big old glowing box of fawning on the game.
He's a shill. He's a
Yeah.
shill. He's a
I
shill,
think I called him out
baby.
for being
He's
chill
a
on that
shill.
too.
That's
Say it again.
He's a shill. Yeah, but whatever. What are you gonna do?
I've got a bunch of games I want to try at BGG Con.
What you
and,
want to play?
and a lot of them I probably won't get to.
Name
I want
one.
to try Maracaibo.
Yes.
Very good.
I
Very
want
good.
to try Cooper Island.
Very
Yes.
good.
I want to try Marco Polo 2.
Yes.
That's also very good. Wow,
I
you're like I played all these. This is great.
I want to try the new Azul, which
No.
is out now, and I'm not buying it
Nope,
because
have no
I think
interest.
they've gone too far.
You've
I want to
gone
try
too far.
Aquatica.
Yes.
I want to try
That's good.
Trismegistus.
Yes.
That is
that's both.
so good. Oh.
Yeah.
And I want to try Sanctum.
Yeah,
Sanctum is. I gotta play it again.
Well,
So
that sounds
Sanctum,
familiar.
I don't think I'll want to buy from watching and reading the rule book, but I'd want to try it once just to see how it feels, and then I'll probably be good.
Oh, that's the Diablo one, right?
Yeah, that's the Diablo one.
Yeah.
So that's what BGG Con is for. So you can get these. Hey, it's worth one play out of your system, and I never have to look at it again.
So like most games.
Yeah, exactly. I can save so much money on those, but so I was watching somebody's Trismegistus video, except they're playing solo mode, which kind of ruined it for me. But
You're not going to get on my back about that too.
are people on your back about
that
it?
now?
Are people on you about the solo gaming?
I
I prefer
will,
watching
not
you talk
too
to
much.
Virtual Gen.
It's just so much nicer. Oh my god! It actually is fun for me to do it because I'm actually playing a game.
So what's funny though is like I'll play games by myself, and even if they have a solo mode with an automata or something like that, I'll just play player versus player against myself. I prefer to play it like that. I don't know why. So that's why I like your videos like that. But I'm not going to give you too much crap because it's good for you to show that for the solo players too. But Trismegistus, I was watching it. I knew what all the symbols meant without you telling me or reading.
Oh, really?
Because I was in a professional chemistry fraternity. I guess technically still am. When I was in college, and alchemy was a big part of our initiation and stuff we had to learn as part of the fraternity. So, yeah, all those symbols are old alchemical symbols. So, I knew exactly what each one was because it was ingrained in my brain.
Wow! Then you must play it.
Yeah, I need to try it because, yeah, it's one of those things I need to try. Definitely because of the theme. I like alchemy themed stuff. So definitely on the list. But Cooper Island looks neat, and Maracaibo looks super cool, and there's so many games that look cool, and they're all in the hot games, so it's going to be a bitch to get to them. That's the tough part. Did you play Marco Polo 2, Lance? Is that what you said?
He said he did.
And
Yeah, it's very good.
compared to first Marco Polo, which is better?
I like this one better. I'm sorry. I shit.
Don't do that. It'll stink.
No. The designer of two of my favorite games is probably not going to live much longer. Chad Jensen is in hospice, and they've turned off his food tube.
No, I think I saw Jeff Engelstein talking about that recently.
Wow.
That sucks.
Fuck. Sorry to bring everybody down. I mean, like literally, like Dominant Species and Urban Sprawl are like two of my absolute. They're my top 10 probably forever. And
they're music games.
And Urban Sprawl is a very, very dividing game as far as people liking or disliking it. It's one of those things where and I was and it may still be designed, it may still come out, but there was a dominant species that's been on the P500 list for a while. That is the it was I forget what it's called, but it's more of an aquatic version of it that he was in the process of designing. Just shitty. Cancer sucks. And yeah, I mean, and for that matter, I mean, people that like are like, oh, you know, it's just like, Chad also designed like Combat Commander is like a game that like people reference a lot as one of the like absolute best representations of squad level combat. And it's just and I understand that people cancer doesn't care, right? You know, and they don't it doesn't care, like, you know, how well you take care of yourself or whatever. It's just one of those things. And it's one of those things where here's a guy that like physical fitness was like super important to him. He was like, you know, he always would post things about his regimens as far as lifting weights and you know, like eating right and like, you know, just keeping his mind sharp as well as his body. And not that it isn't fair, right? You know, but I mean, it's just like, it just seems so weird that somebody that like, you know, took such great care of himself, and, you know, unfortunately is just getting kind of struck down. And shit, fuck, this pisses me off. Anyway, sorry. This is like I had known that when he made the post on Facebook, it was one of those things where he said, you know, so I have cancer. Prognosis is not on the good side of things, and that was like all he kind of said. It's not fair, and for a guy that like obviously has made so many people happy with his designs, and plus his family. I mean, people that Anyway, there you go. That's your depressing, sad time of talking now, and then Aldi's waiting to get in. So I'm gonna let him in. Maybe he'll tell us a joke or something, and I can alleviate some of this. Hey, Scott.
I don't have any jokes. Sorry.
Yeah,
That fucking sucks.
Oh my god! What are you guys talking about? Don't even tell me, because it sounds like it was not good.
You gotta pick up the room. Do it, Scott.
Chad Jensen.
We just added 900 games to the Board Game Geek library.
Sweet.
All right.
No, just so you know, Scott.
Just now, so I can update my list.
Chad Jensen's.
Actually, we have the 30 other boxes haven't been put in yet.
I appreciate you interrupting me, even if it's like no. Chad Jensen, designer of like Dominant Species and Comic Commander.
Oh no.
He's been in hospice, and like they're saying he won't last much longer. So
that's too bad. Bummer.
Yep.
Never met him. Obviously,
neither have I. And it was one of those things where it's like he like I was able to chat with him briefly virtually, you know, and I was like, and I remember when like he accepted my friend request on Facebook. He actually he purposely said it's like he said like something about my Dominant Species and Urban Sprawl reviews, and he was like super proud that like super happy that I made them, and I was like, oh, thanks, man. And like I don't think I ever really talked to him since, but well, anyway,
Board Game World.
BGG got a mention on South Park earlier. What the hell?
BGG, Game Night, Rodney Smith, Dice Tower, Becca Scott. Trying to remember. I mean, there's so many references. I'm sorry, Rado.
Oh, of course.
But it's the YouTube tutorial. That covers a lot of people. Although you might have been mentioned. I mean, there's a million references. I have to go back and watch it again to get them all.
What did they say about Becca Scott?
So there's this fun part in the show where the board girls club. It's this boys club versus girls club drama in the school. Cartman, of course, doesn't want the girls to be in the board game club, so they start their own club, and it's like this awesome club. They have like every board game. It's like it's really, you have to watch the episode. Very, very heavy board game references. Like I didn't even know some of the games they were talking about. I'm like, is that a real game? It is. So there's a finale or a showdown between the antagonist of the episode and one of the girls in the board games club. And there's a song called Strong Woman. It's like a parody song, and it's there's a mention of a few people we know.
That is so fucking.
It's so bad. I mean, I'm like, I think this is probably the biggest mainstream thing for board games, be after tabletop, maybe.
This would be more
I think the
mainstream than
biggest thing-
tabletop.
Oh yeah, that's
The
it.
biggest, the biggest mainstream thing that has anything to do with board games would, of course, be Battleship, the movie starring Liam Neeson.
Well,
Because
I'll
there's a
open the
good
door to endless ridicule. I dug that movie.
Orphan
I've not
Black.
seen it.
Orphan Black would have been pretty big.
Or what's also
I guess everybody's just ignoring that bombshell.
Clue.
Yeah, I don't know if you're wrong, Richard. 'cause
I never
like,
watched it. Yeah, I never saw
I didn't
it.
watch
Here's
it.
the thing about that movie that everybody completely ignored. It's actually a pretty scathing indictment of American jingoistic warlike tendencies. It's. I'm not going to say it's as good at that as Starship Troopers, but it has a lot of the same stuff going on because throughout the entire movie, the aliens are presented from the American soldiers' perspective as evil, but they never do anything other than just protect themselves for the entire freaking movie. And but it's all just full of jingoistic rah rah go get them stuff, and it's just so obvious to me that the director Peter Berg is just ridiculing and mocking American warlike tendencies. And so like there's this whole subtext that everybody completely ignored because of the board game tie-in. And it's a real shame. It was actually pretty cool.
I need to watch it. It has Rihanna, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine it's hard to find.
Sure, it's out there.
It's hard to find people that liked it, but
Yeah, so there's a parody of Godzilla.
One second.
Godzilla. Whatever. It's good. And there's like a very, very, very detailed close up of a Twilight Struggle board, like being played, like, and you could recognize everything. It's like spot on.
Is that this week's episode or is that last week's?
Yeah, it was
episode?
tonight's episode.
So it'll be on Hulu tomorrow or wherever you pirate from.
Yeah, last week's episode was the one devoted to Dice Tower.
So I actually extracted the one clip. If Lance lets me play it, I extracted 2 clips. Actually, let me see if I can upload them. I uploaded them already. I'm curious to see if I can.
I'm so excited to watch this tomorrow.
It's really good. I mean, it's so heavy. I mean, it's board games. Like it's what you want of board games.
I finally watched the documentary, Scott. That was really awesome.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to shoot a review for it later this week.
It went up on Amazon Prime, I think, today too. I didn't know that was coming.
Well, then that'll be perfect timing. I'll try to get that up this week.
Cool.
Yeah, the only thing I wish would have been was like I wanted to know like more about, and it might have just been a time thing, but like what happened to Antoine Bauza's game? Because did that end up being that Simon game? I think.
Oh gosh, what was he working on in the movie? It was well, you could see him working. He was working on Victorian Masterminds. He was working on that show with Attack on Titan. He was working on a new Takedo. And Last Bastion, I think, was in there maybe.
Well, either way, it was.
But you couldn't tell, like, I mean, because the games are almost so unrecognizable. I mean, obviously, Attack on Titan, you see the thing, but like all the other games are kind of they're in the background, and I'm pretty sure he gave clearance on all that stuff when it was filmed.
So I wanted to bring something to cheer everybody up.
Yeah, cute dog.
Oh, don't you be just.
All right, can you allow me to share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to I want to show off my doggy.
Yeah.
It's a cute dog.
This is Ivan.
He looks a little mean though.
He's got
the anger eyes.
Yeah, he's got the anger eyes, which is awesome. I love this guy. No, this is I've always wanted a Siberian Husky puppy. Now I have a Siberian.
You got a whole menagerie now. You got a new kitten. You got a new puppy. You got Rocket.
This guy's awesome. He's very tired. He's been chasing the Australian cattle dog around upstairs.
Yeah.
Now he's
Keep training him in the backyard because otherwise he will dig the biggest craters you'll ever see.
yeah.
You
Look,
can
look how
hide
angry he looks. He's all squinty eye right now. Just like,
He's very metal.
or I tried to I wanted to call him Muad'Dib, but it was. So.
But
Allow my screen to be shared there, Lance.
Oh, fine.
I won't show any videos of you or butt pictures.
Well,
it's a trap.
So I don't know if the sound will come through, and it's such a small resolution. It's not working.
Nope. Technology has failed us all.
I just heard Cartman say BGG. I'm happy.
Well, darn. Let me full screen. Let me see if I can full screen it. If it'll, does that come through? Do you see video?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I see it.
But just one frame every 30 seconds. There it goes. Did Stan say we love BGG?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing.
I know, it's rocking.
So I am so excited to hear next week about what's going to be the uptick on this. How many?
Hey, go back a second.
What?
Go back. Start that over again, real quick. I'm just
So
are you just filming your TV with your phone, Scott?
Yeah. I mean, what other way would there be?
I can't imagine.
I don't know how to get a show off my DVR. I have Uverse. All right, what do you?
Yeah, here you go again.
There's about 5 seconds here before, which is hilarious because the girls come in and they've got these. If you can see the scene, the painted miniatures, and they're like, how'd you learn to do that? We learned on BG. Why would anybody want to play with unpainted miniatures? And Cartman looks at his miniature and it's unpainted.
Yeah, I saw some. I wanted to see it again.
We watch YouTube tutorials. You can find a bunch on BGG. I love BGG. Oh, cool. Did you watch Game Night? Excuse me.
What part?
Keep
Did you
going.
watch Game Night? Oh my god, that's amazing.
Watch the tutorial for that on Dice Tower.
Yeah.
What was the person on the screen?
Oh, at the end?
Yeah.
That's the strong woman thing. It's a strong woman competition.
Okay.
There's two storylines.
Looks like Dorado runs through to me.
Oh, you know what? It could be, right? It could
Sure,
be.
I'll take it. Fine.
Oh, Richard. They love you.
There you go.
I get
See,
no
they
respect.
ripped off your logo, Richard.
Yeah.
What
They,
are those?
they give you,
I wonder
give
if
you an
Stan-
homage.
Do you want to? How could you hear that? Could you hear that at all?
no,
but
I can kind of hear it. Yeah.
Do you want to hear the song?
It was tinny.
Do you want to hear? Actually,
I would rather wait and actually watch the episode.
Yeah, all right.
Just
You'll get better quality.
Yeah, I'm sorry for
they make it all of they just make them available online. You
Yeah,
can-
it's on Hulu tomorrow, right?
Yep.
For free.
It's on Hulu as part of their program, and it's on their website tomorrow too. So
Look at how angry he looks. He's an angry puppy.
What was his name?
Ivan.
Ivan. Okay, yeah.
That was Cosmo.
Well, Cosmo was a placeholder. It came down to Cosmo. It came down to Ivan or Cooper. I also proposed.
Indiana.
No, I proposed
No,
because of the eyes. I proposed White Walker, but then I got shut down for that too as well.
just too long.
And then there was Sputnik was thrown out there as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I like Ivan because he looks kind of angry. So, somebody in there said Lauren posted Ivan the terribly cute. Oh, he's got that bad puppy breath that smells so horrible. I don't know why puppy breath smells like that. Yeah, whatever. Poor little guy, growing so tough. Holy cow, Superman! Where did Clark Kent go?
I mean, it sucks because I'm having to wear these glasses now almost all the time. I can't read anything.
Oh, you want to hear about that? I got a hearing aid today.
Oh, you got what?
I got a hearing aid I'm trying out today. I just got it.
What?
You're deaf?
No, I used to be big into rock music and just it's a fucking loud I can listen to. I'm such a badass. I like to get all the way up to the front and listen to this fucking bass and yeah. So Got my hearing aid today. I'm gonna try it out tomorrow at work. And
Wow.
Robert Oren.
Robert. Or
What's up?
hey,
What's up?
Nice job on the painting tutorial today. I
Oh,
almost
thank you.
want to paint. It almost makes me want to paint.
hey, Robert.
Like I'm so close, you don't even know.
Look at my puppy, Robert.
Are you coming next week,
Nice.
Rob?
Beautiful.
Are you coming next week?
What's that, Keith?
Are
Yeah.
you coming next week? I miss you.
I miss you too, my friend.
I'm looking forward to
Robert's
seeing
gonna
you.
be
Viciously.
my roommate for part of BGG.
Yeah, Tina decided to come last minute, so
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I know. Apparently, you'd rather room with a girl than me. You know. What a
it's not
jerk.
Rob's the best roommate.
It's
He really
fine.
is.
It's like what I get to move in on Friday, right? So, right, Robert?
You only have
that
your
is
room
correct.
So,
till
it'll be
Lance, why
good.
do you only have your room till Friday?
She's leaving on Friday.
Oh, I know. Okay. But I thought, Lance, you had a room.
I do have a room, but
So why'd you cut it off?
well, no,
But he
because I have a room, but it's just one of those things where it's like I'm paying for my room because and Rob's paying. You're paying for Rob, so why wouldn't I stay with Rob and save myself some money?
You just
I mean-
killed the room for the BGG con by doing that. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
You're checking out on Friday.
No, I haven't actually, but you can always check out early. You can just say, "Oh, I gotta go." You know, they'll
That
let you
kills
go.
a room for BGG con, my friend.
How does that kill a room for BGG?
Because no one
it's
can get it.
not 5 days.
Fine.
I'm gonna have to make a new rule.
No, fine.
The
Fine.
Meister
That
rule. Thanks. Way to fuck it up for everybody else.
More rules. Here's the deal: if you get a room for one night, and that being Friday night or Saturday night, you basically take away a room for someone who attends the whole convention.
that's a
Right?
solid
If they
point.
can't go. Okay. Anyway,
You know what? Fine, whatever. Just
whatever.
sorry.
I'm just Lance. Do what you want.
No. I was. You know what I want to do?
Lance,
You know what I want to do is I want to
Lance.
make.
Stop
I want to make
fighting!
Scott happy. That's what I want to do. I want to make Scott happy. I want to do what's best.
Hey,
for
Richard,
Scott.
how are you? Haven't seen
Hey
you.
there, I'm okay.
Good.
What you got in
Tina's
front of
looking
you?
forward to seeing you.
Ah,
What do you got in
it'd be
front
nice
of
to see you too, pal. Perhaps we can arm wrestle.
What are Rob's arms versus your entire body?
I might have length on him, so that might be able to fulcrum some stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Who you been talking to? No. So.
you? That's not how arm wrestling works.
Oh, can I?
That's
I
a
wanna-
thing.
Oh,
wanna
boy.
plug
Fulcrums are a thing.
Fulcrums
Oh,
are a thing, but they're not a verb.
Can I plug a game? What the Lance Meister rule? What the heck does that mean? What does this mean? Kabuki Kid, explain yourself. What does that mean?
Something about spoilers.
Oh,
No, that's what I said. The new rule that you have to make for BGG is going to be called.
Oh,
oh.
the Lance rule.
Lance, if you gotta pay for the room, and I mean, is there somebody else that can get the room so they can go to the convention?
I've actually farmed it out and nobody wants it. So nobody wants to go to BGG Con this year. It's just like they're just like, sorry, man. You're like,
Give me that
wow.
room. If you give me that room, I'll make it disappear in about a half a second.
No, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Why don't you just you could stay with the two of us?
Ooh. It's a little. Well, I mean,
No,
Just-
stop.
Only if you make it that way, Lance. Only if you make it that way.
a little
Boy.
just friends spooning.
Oh yeah, there is a Stranger Things convention at this hotel this weekend.
What was I gonna say? Dang it! I had
Always
something to
something
say. I had something at least what I thought was slightly interesting to say.
By the way, it's $250 to go to the Stranger Things convention.
That's ridiculous.
That
In
is
the
great.
same
I'm pretty
hotel?
sure it's stupid. Yes, I need to go. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure the price was pretty darn high.
Oh, you know what? Game is really good that I played finally because I downloaded the English rules from BGG. Steamopolis. I really like that game.
God damn it! You played every freaking thing.
That was
Literally my entire top 5 of Essen. Good.
yeah, so Steamopolis was.
I know it's gonna be awesome. I was
Korax
dreaming
game.
about it.
Korax? I think it was Korax Games. I think. If I
Yes,
remember
that
correctly.
is correct.
Yeah, it's language independent, but they didn't have English rules in it yet. So I talked to a really cool guy that runs Core Games. I ended up enjoying a Wiener Schnitzel and talking to him about board games. Yeah, you laugh it up, funny guy over there.
Oh boy, I'm gonna really yell at my dogs for waking me up.
$200. Sorry, I misspoke.
You know,
$200 to go to. I mean, what do you do?
You get to meet.
What?
Billy
You
Bobby
get to meet a
Brown.
couple of people,
Yeah,
couple of panels.
yeah. I mean, like maybe they got some board gaming going on or something. I don't know. What would you do at the Stranger Things convention?
Buy a T-shirt and leave.
Hey, hey Scott, just so I can say it before, don't leave when we're done tonight, because I got to talk to you off air.
I gotta work.
Yeah,
I gotta do con stuff, man.
God! That's so much fun to do. God dang it! I was gonna say something and I can't remember what it was. Oh well. Thank you,
Richard, when are you coming in?
Tuesday afternoon, and leaving Sunday evening.
Okay.
When are you rolling in, Scott?
Look at this floppy baby. Oh,
I'll be there
look at that
Sunday.
floppy little puppy.
Oh yeah, because you've got the
Floppy.
Well, there's Tabletop Network on it starts Monday morning, but I don't want to be there Monday morning. I want to make sure everything's working Sunday night.
Yeah.
We actually, oh my god, I want to get started. Like,
I'm usually
I don't wanna talk
rolling in
about
there like late Tuesday.
I'll be there Tuesday. I don't know. I almost thought about staying on Monday night, and then getting up Tuesday and being there.
If I remember to bring it, I have something for you, but I have to remember to bring it, and I haven't packed it yet.
Are you bringing any games, Richard? You got any new stuff?
No, I'm not going to carry anything this time. Just carrying
Oh, that's
Gen
right. You had a
Class.
bag last time.
And there's so many things I want to play that's going to be there.
So I have I made my own little library this year. Of a bunch of stuff. So if there's something you're looking for, let me know.
Everything Lance just listed that he's already played.
I didn't get Steamopolis though. I didn't even know about that.
I went through a pile of stuff earlier.
You don't
that
watch
I
my
wanted to
top tens? Jeez.
No, but didn't we do that? Didn't we
First
do the
South
top
Park
10?
and now Aldi.
Oh my gosh, I do watch your stuff. Believe me, I watch a lot.
I'm kidding.
But I did not remember that. No, I do remember it now.
Probably one of the few channels I actually watch.
I'm thinking about bringing this to
Thank you.
BGG.
Yeah, bring that actually. Yeah, because
Bring what?
so we get the green. So that's weird. They weren't selling that at Essen, Greenville, 1985 or whatever,
1989.
Yeah,
Yep.
my year of graduation.
Mine too.
Yeah. So Lincoln saw these guys walking around with the Greenville shirts, and we wanted the copy right to do on the show, and we're like, where can you buy it? Where can you buy it? And they're like, it's not for sale. Like,
I need to send this with. Do I
It's
still need
brand
to
new.
send this with Lincoln because we forgot to?
No. So here's the thing: they left, and then they turned back around in 5 minutes, and Kim found him, and he said, "Come with me," and they found him a copy.
Cool.
But how weird is it not to have a new game for sale in Essen?
Well, I mean, it's been out for a little bit, but it's weird not to have it. Maybe they
Right.
just
Well, it came out at
didn't look
Cannes, right? Came out in
Yeah.
February, but not really.
I like that game though.
It's fun. I surprisingly like it, and I don't really like storytelling.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
creative.
Like it, I like it with the Mysterium-esque-ish stuff and the rotating ghost thing. It's fun. I'll probably forget it.
That new one from Lucky Duck looks really fun. The paranormal.
Oh, it's
Yes,
so
I want to
good.
try
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty
That
fun.
I forgot that's on my list to try.
I should have bought another copy.
It
That's
is
the one I
Nice.
want to try with you, Scott, because I don't think half of my gaming group will actually like it. So I need to play it with somebody I think will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this thing's amazing.
What's amazing?
So I came across
Cardboard.
this little doodad right here, 401. Was a gift,
Oh.
and I thought it was gonna be just crap. It's Mario. Like they're
Oh,
like
yeah. It's
legit NES. It's an emulator.
It's a handheld emulator.
Yeah.
How's the screen? Does it smoothly scroll?
I don't know. Let me get.
He was amazed.
Because that's usually the problem.
It looks pretty good. It comes. Yeah, this is. Wow. This is crap.
Hey, Richard, that's a pirate box in his hand right there.
Yep. He's destroying the industry right in front of us.
Right.
Can you believe right in front of you and me, Scott?
Death Stranding, no money for you.
I did not.
Oh my God.
Screw you, Miyamoto-san.
I didn't buy
You
this.
get nothing.
This is actually really nice.
So you stole pirated stuff instead.
Those things are a dime a dozen everywhere, man. They're like it's
Yeah.
unstoppable.
It's got the good sound.
I'm pretty sure that what's the guy who did the Superman song?
Comes with a controller.
What was that rapper's name?
Who did Superman?
Yeah.
Eminem.
No.
I thought you were going to say John Williams.
You're Superman. You're Superman.
No, not that one. Never mind. I don't know. He started up a game company and he had license.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Oh my God,
He had
that's an interesting YouTube video. There was a guy that I watched who did a deep dive into that whole venture, and
where he started up the video game?
absolutely fascinating. Like it was, it was cheap knockoffs.
He sold the Soldier console or whatever it was called.
How much would you pay to go to SoldierCon? Did I get in $200 to go to SoldierCon?
Again, T-shirt, gotta go.
Yeah.
I want to see you rocking around in a Soldier Boy t-shirt.
I make that thing look good.
You can plug this in the TV. Well, that is awesome.
Somebody playing Death Stranding.
So how big is this convention center, Aldi?
Oh, the hotel?
Yeah.
It's pretty darn big. It's twice as big as the BGG Con,
Wow.
Size-wise, space-wise.
Do you, from what you've been there.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be any problem for vendors for foot traffic, considering they're on a different floor in like the basement, basically?
It's pretty huge. I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I mean, here's the deal. You go down to the vendor hall, and it's I'm not like, I can't think of another show that's not Gen Con or Origins that's bigger.
Oh, wow.
Or
Really?
I mean, I've not been to Dice Tower Con. I've not been to a couple of the local conventions or,
It's not
regionals, but it's bigger than the ever that we've had before, like together in one room.
Wow.
I don't know what the feel will be because we don't know. We haven't seen it before, but I'm guessing it's going to be like a full-on blown vendor room that you're going to be spending time in.
Meaning comparable to Origin size.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I mean, do you have the maps yet?
Yeah, I think I saw them, but I mean, you don't really get a sense.
Yeah, you can't get a sense of how large it is.
Yep. There's no little tiny Aldi on it for scale. So
well, here's the deal: the library. Yeah, that would be. Actually, I should stand there and like in the room. Hey, everybody. There's no such thing as a tiny Aldi, though. By the way, Richard. The library is also down by the exhibit hall. So you have to go down to the library. Yeah, so you've got main gaming hall, library is down on the escalator, and the exhibit hall is right there too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, I remember years ago when you were in the old place, I think it was the one I went to that I heard that, it was the first time you had the vendor hall, the second one. Yeah. That wasn't just right across the way, and people who were over there were like, we're getting no foot traffic. We're dying here. And now it struck me as odd. It wasn't that
it's
far
weird
away.
because we like put signs up and we made footsteps, and it's like, well, do you guys want to go? I mean, it was weird. It's confounding actually to try to manage a convention of getting people to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
It's like herding cats. I don't know. You can't make them do it. But I think it'll be great. I mean, a single unified exhibit hall will have more energy, right? More.
Oh
feeling of a Gen Con or an Origins. I haven't been to PAX, so I don't know what it feels like. I've been to Gen Con and Origins.
But you're definitely bigger than Dice Tower because I've been there.
Did they do a vendor hall at the Dice Tower?
This year they did. It wasn't that big. I mean, a couple of vendors at best.
The vendor hall they had at Dice Tower West was comparable to BGG Spring.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
It's an integrated Like that was half the ballroom, so 10,000 square feet. The whole ballroom's like 20.
Yeah.
It was like half the ballroom, half on each side was vendors, and it was like a little snaky thing that went around.
Scott, you were asking if I'm going to bring anything. Is there anything you want me to bring?
Oh, I don't know if you had any weird things that no one has yet.
What do I got? I've got the Red Outpost, which is something that nobody's heard of.
Yeah.
I think it was released like a couple of years ago in Russia, and it's about to get a Kickstarter for wider release. It's a very cool worker placement / area control game where the Soviet Union actually launched a secret deep space colonization mission. And so they've made a communist paradise, which means everybody has to share control of the workers. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that's the new one that Seth's coming out with, right? The spinning off from
Right.
Mayday.
Yep. And what else? If you want some demon worship, I've got Goetia. Or no, I think he had me send that one on, so I don't have that anymore. Do I still have Almanac? No, but they sent that away. More and more publishers are having me send the prototypes away after I'm done.
Interesting. Wonder why. Just because
I think now because I'm in America, so
you can forward it on to somebody else to play.
yeah, and they know it won't take a month to get there. It'll just take a few days, and then somebody else can cover it too. Whereas when I was out in Malta, I was the end of the line.
Can you give me the share screen again there, Lance?
Uh-oh.
No butt Lance pictures. Lance butt pictures. So when you come into the hotel, you come in over here. Can you guys see my mouse? Where's it
Yes.
here?
Yes.
Come in, and this is all our special events here. And then there's dexterity games here. And I'm pretty sure this special events is as big as the ballroom from last year.
Oh, really?
Then the hot games room is here, and we're gonna have 48 tables in here. This little Pegasus ballroom. Actually, can I zoom in any better? This is not a great. Why did they not put a full high-res picture in here? So then, if you keep walking past all this, past the tower, you get to the open gaming, which is twice as big as the BGG ballroom, if I'm not mistaken, or pretty close to twice as big. And then there's like a little escalator right here. I think is that right? Man, where's the bigger version of this picture?
Yeah, you couldn't find anything on the site, really. It was this picture, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, we need a better event site. I need to do some work on that. If you go up an atrium, like up the stairs here, there's like 5 restaurants here and a bar, and then there's a bunch of side rooms, right? Like breakout room type stuff. But then if you go down a level, that's the exhibit hall, and you can see that how big that is compared to the gaming. Now the ceiling is lower, so it'll feel a little cramped. But then, then there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Like there's a Rio. God, why is they up on this picture? All right, but and I think there's the Funnigan room is here. Funnigan, I can't read it.
Woo, Funnigan.
Well, I think somebody might have something to say about that.
Yeah, let's say
The
lower.
library.
Apparently that's going to be the hotness room. Lance was declaring earlier.
And then there's the library, and then there's this, right? So the library is on the exhibit hall. So I'm hoping that this exhibit hall is huge. And let me see if I can find.
Where are you having the flea market this year?
That'll be in the special
in that
events.
purple room.
Yeah, this purple
Yeah,
one.
so it'd be a lot bigger and a lot easier for people.
I hope
That's
so.
always like a traffic jam.
Oh God, yeah. That was a death trap.
So here's the exhibit hall.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't even go look at that. I need to look at that.
Where is this? Is this available publicly, Scott?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you just search for BGGCon 2019 maps.
I'll send you a link,
also-
Richard.
Please
Okay,
download.
thank you.
Wait. Guidebook. We have a guidebook app. Do you guys know that?
Oh, do you have as a PDF or something?
No, it's an app, right? You can go in and like get everything.
Oh
It's-
wow.
Go search for Guidebook, the app, right?
On the Google Play Store or
on
something?
App Store, yeah.
Okay.
Then search for BGGCon 2019.
Oh, you just had to do a module form.
Yeah, well, they have everything.
So they do this for Essen and Gen Con and everybody too?
Yeah, we have done it. Guidebook has use for every convention, right? Like some conventions, and now we basically are paying for this. So
I install Guidebook, and then once I'm running it, I'll be able to download the BGG.
right,
module.
then you'll be able to see all the
Sweet.
And I think I need to tell them to upload higher res images because these are not high enough. Which, if we up, yeah, they don't even have a higher. It's too small. So I can't even see what vendors are here. I could look here. Okay, board game tables, Wormwood, Foam Brain Games, Genius Games, Tabletop Tycoon, Mercury Games, Broken Token, Ultra Pro. Why is that doing that?
Man, this resolution does
Academy, Bezier. Yeah. I'm gonna send a message now and say these maps are not high res enough.
Not good enough, Dan.
So these are like full on exhibit hall rows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1, 2. What do we have? I don't have the number, but
I don't remember where Jen and I are. I think
that's what I'm
I
looking
think we
for.
might be that
416.
green one.
Gamer
Right
Glass.
there, you're orange next to R&R Games, Elf Creek Games, across from Albino Dragon,
410.
and near yellow. It looks like
You are.
he's dead, almost dead center in the orange block.
Gamer Glass right here.
That's an awful big booth for two of you.
What?
Yeah, it's
I told him we did not need that.
Oh, you got it.
Well,
I
you're
guess
just gonna
I
have to
got it.
set up a play table and just play all day.
Well, that is my plan.
Well,
I'm
that
just gonna.
I mean,
sit
you
at
were-
a table there.
Do like you did in spring.
You guys would be too cramped.
People
at
love
back
that.
then. You would be too
Yeah,
cramped.
I guess that's true. We kind of took up 1.5 when we were at, since there was a little bit of space, extra space, because I think whoever was next to us ended up not showing up or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I tend to get the Dice Tower one and the Spring one mixed up because they happen like within a month of each other, so they're all kind of merged in my head. Wow, we have a big booth. Who are we across from? Who's that?
Albino Dragon,
Albino Dragon, R&R is right around the corner from you.
yellow is right kitty corner from you.
Okay, I remember the main thing was Jen did not want to be like right next to or right adjacent to anybody else who was doing accessories. And she wanted to stake out her own little space.
These are all game companies.
Yeah. Then success.
I mean, we don't have a huge amount of accessories. We have
Ultra
I think there
Pro's
were
a
a
whole
few.
row away.
board
There
game
was tables,
Wormwood.
and there was
I'm not sure why we put Wormwood next to board game tables. I guess that was
Just to be dick, apparently.
I wouldn't have done it. I would have put them on opposite sides. But
Yeah, that's what a nice person would do.
well, you didn't do it at all. I mean, these were all everybody got to choose.
All they're going to do is screw each other. One of them's going to be like, their tables look way better than yours. The other's like, your tables are way more expensive than theirs.
we also have this thing called the prize booth this year. We're not doing closing ceremony prize giveaway. Well, let me correct that. We are doing closing ceremony prize giveaways, just not so many.
Okay.
We've done 80. We've done 80 prizes in the past, and when every third one doesn't show, it takes
Yeah.
a really long time.
That's
So now,
painful.
and I'm sure all the the millions of people watching this that are coming to
I
BGCon,
won one 2 years ago.
you check the prize booth daily for your name, and you'll win a prize.
That's cool.
So that'll hopefully will bring people into the.
And what are you planning for the big finale then?
I need to check with it, but I think we're giving away like a set of the 16 prints that we have coming.
Oh.
The prints, like the big ones, the ones that are like $100 each. Pretty big prize. And we'll find something else big by the time the show's over.
You said giving away a set of, and my mind immediately went to a set of steak knives. Second place, you're fired.
Third place.
Yeah.
2020 BGG Premium.
Do I have your attention now?
Edition.
Oh, such a great scene. Just
Oh, yeah,
choose up the scenery. Choose up the scenery for 10 minutes.
Yep.
What's
Oh,
your
man.
name? Fuck you. That's my
That's
name.
my name.
you know why I'm here? Because I drove here because I have this watch costs more than your car.
Hey, what are the good eats around the hotel?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too.
Well, let me bring up the map because I can't remember.
While you do that, let me say one thing real
is
quick.
everybody here? Well, I'm gonna go anyways.
Yeah. I want to say one quick thing, just a shout out to a Kickstarter that's going on right now. That Zerawia is what it's called. It's a weird name, Zerywia, but it is a Slavic fantasy cooperative game. Basically, dudes on a map fighting monsters, traveling around D&D-esque game. Absolutely fantastic. I've been working on the video for the last couple of days, and I just the narrative is what makes me happy about games like this. And there's like a ton of story to the game. So, ZERYWIA, and I was gonna bring it to BGGCon actually and probably play it maybe. So, but anyway, there you go. I wanted to do go check that out. It's got the craziest weird name. It's funded. They've already hitting stretch goals and blah blah blah. So good stuff. If you like co-op fantasy, go check it out. Did you find your map yet, Scott?
Yeah, I'm looking at restaurants.
What's your attendance, Scott, going to be? What?
I think we're at 3,500 or 3,600, something like that.
And how's that compare to previous ones?
20%.
Okay.
Yeah, more. I don't want it to be too crowded, like I didn't want to go to like 4,000 in the first year and not understand.
Well, no, I mean, it seems like you've doubled the space, but you've only increased attendance by like 20% or something?
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty roomy.
I hope so. I don't want it to feel too crazy.
Well, don't you though? I mean, doesn't that like have like an air of excitement and success? And
do you like searching for game tables? I mean, like, well, you don't have the problem because you got a reserved table, but like,
I do, yes.
If someone,
geez, look at this guy! I got a reserve table.
Well, until it's
Table
all
for
closes,
one.
right?
all right, let me.
Who bids to sit with Rado and
It's
play
actually
games?
going to be really sad and pathetic because it's a whole big gigantic booth and just me sitting at a table with 3 other chairs. It's going to seem pretty anemic.
Yeah, but aren't people bidding
What-
hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of
Yeah,
pennies
didn't you
to sit there with you?
Didn't you do your Kickstarter like bonus per stretch goal or something to game with Rado for?
No, I did not.
That would have
Anybody
been.
who happens
You
to
should have
come
ran a
by
little
today-
mini. You should have ran a little mini Kickstarter for BGG Con.
I suppose I
He
could
has a little timer.
You have a lunch game, a dinner game.
A timer. Ding! Time's up.
You're done. Game's over.
So tell me
Next.
about ding. Oh, okay, next.
And then they have to bring their own game, sit at the table, and then Rado just grabs it and just goes out into the box. Pieces go flying onto the floor. Next.
Next.
Picture autograph next.
Yep.
Picture autograph next.
Gaming experience to remember.
Yes. I would pay good money to see you do that, actually.
Well, that is pretty much what I do with my own games, but I don't think I do with anybody else's.
You do the slide? You don't
Yeah,
put it
totally.
away?
Yeah. That is
I
the
would do
biggest
that-
problem with dedicated game tables is that you have to actually scoop everything out. That's a real pain in the ass.
Wow. I only do that to games that deserve a special place in game hell that aren't worth ever playing again. That's the only time you get the table rake.
I remember
I've done it twice.
I remember
Twice.
years ago,
way.
Scott. I mean, name drop time. Years ago, Scott Nicholson was at my house, and like he was going through my
Wow.
collection, and he was like, "Oh, hey, this is a game that I always wanted to play, and you mind?" And it was still in shrink, and he was like, "Oh, it was a game about hospitals or something, and it was just a bad game." And so I remember we were trying to learn the game, and like I remember he had like the best, most scathing, critical running commentary about a crap game that was just I mean, he had everybody at the table were just we couldn't breathe. We were just like laughing so hard. And I mean, the one line he kept on saying, he goes, "We're looking for the fun. But keep digging. It's in here somewhere. We'll find it." But I remember after we played like 2 rounds of it, we all agreed it was just horrible. And then he literally did the scoop and shove into the box. He's like, "Don't forget the baggies," and he throws the baggies on top. Just
So-
jams the box.
Related short story, Lance. The
Yes.
first game of the 2 games I table raked, designed by said person.
Oh yeah.
What game?
Going Gone was gone out of the collection. after
Really?
one
You didn't
play.
like
Oh.
it? I love going.
Oh, I hated that game so much. We all hated it. We were 4 for 4. Hate this game. Throw it in the box. Don't sort it and give it away.
It's definitely not for everybody.
That definitely requires the right audience. Definitely.
Well, it's so you've got a game that's made hectic, and then one person catches one of those dumbass cups wrong, and they fuck the whole game, and that's what happened to us.
That's the auction game. I
Yep.
like that game.
Hated it. Hated it.
All right, give me the screen share back again for a minute.
Please. Manners count.
Oh yeah, sure, please. Whatever.
Sure, please. I want my kid to say that.
Sure.
Please, Dad.
So here's the hotel.
That looks like a map. It doesn't look like a hotel.
It's a map of the hotel.
Oh, what do we?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
well, if we're gonna go literal here, if he's not gonna actually give me a hey, will you please just give me the screen share and be nice about it, then whatever.
I didn't want to waste time.
Oh,
So
okay. You know what? Being kind is never a waste.
Oh
of
yeah,
time.
never a waste.
Oh, boy.
So I really love this 560. If you guys can go up there one night, I would highly recommend it. You should make a reservation though, because it fills up very quickly. It's at the top of the tower and it rotates around. Like it's really cool.
I thought rotating restaurants went out in the 70s.
I mean, I loved it. I don't know.
I always wanted to like spin so fast you're like pressed up against the window.
You're feeling, well, yeah, you get a little the centrifugal force.
And tonight I found out why Lance doesn't own a restaurant.
Yeah.
Hold on to your drinks, folks.
So Cindy's New York
How
Deli
cool
restaurant.
would that be though? Like, what if you had reinforced like glass, and as it sped up, people would just slowly make their way, and then like you'd eventually stand on the glass. The centrifugal force would be so good, and you could just sit there and be spun around while you sit there and had drinks. How cool would that be?
Be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Until someone vomited, and then it's everywhere.
Well, I mean, that's the risk you'd run for having such a top-end, awesome dining experience.
That's not where I live. Trust me.
So what are you showing us, Scott?
Yeah. So this is the tower. This is the Reunion Tower, right?
Right.
And then I'm showing you guys like Cindy's New York Deli restaurant is awesome. It's like New York Deli standard stuff, like Reuben, matzo ball soup, all that kind of stuff.
Is that where you sent the
and
picture of
that's
the
literally-
matzo ball on Facebook the other day?
Let me guess, Hard 8 is 1,000 miles away from this place.
That hard, yes. But here's the alternative. I'm gonna go east. West, there are a lot of things. However, there are a lot of bail bonds.
There's a lot of bail bonds and the jail. So
Yes, the jail is right. It's the courthouse, not the jail. Although there is a jail there.
yeah,
The right across, and I don't see it on here as restaurants, is a gas station called Fuel City, and it's the best $1.29 taco you'll ever have in your life. They're amazing, and they're just constantly making
Well,
tacos.
wait a minute. The
All
call
night
girl was
long.
offering me that the other day. So, anyway.
Just a heads
so-
up, everybody. Don't buy these things.
You're just killing me, Lance. You're
This 401 gaming system is
So-
being crap.
The what?
This gaming system I have, I've been playing it. It's so bad, and probably it says 400 games. Like they just repeat the games. There's no save files. There's no 2 players.
it doesn't do a ROM snapshot.
No,
So somebody just said, Paul Tompkins, the esteemed Paul Tompkins, said F Hard 8 Pecan Lodge rules.
Well, I
Yes,
haven't
but
got there. Yes, he jumped ahead. I'm
does
heading
Pecan
there.
Lodge have the Hard 8 pork chop though? Because that Hard 8 pork chop is so good. It's like, and it's the only place I know in the world where I can get that pork chop.
I really don't know, but there are a lot of restaurants in Deep Ellum. So if you just get in an Uber and said take me to Deep Ellum, they will take you here, and you can see the orange dots here are like a million restaurants. It's just so many things.
so that's where we're going.
I would
No fault,
say
like,
that whereas I think that might be 20, that is a far cry from a million.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus.
Why do I bother?
Such a-
Everything's bigger in Texas.
So the 24-hour thing is Buzz Brews. That's open 24 hours. Pretty nice. Like you can get kind of breakfast food all night. I really like Twisted Root Burger Company.
Now, how far is this from the hotel?
This is about you're not gonna walk this. I mean, because you're gonna go like there's the hotel right there.
Okay.
You're gonna get an Uber or you're gonna get a
So basically,
frog cab. But this is literally a 5-minute drive.
Let me ask you this, and this is I'm not cracking wise here. Let me just ask.
Yes.
Cracking wise.
I'm not busting balls here.
11 minutes drive.
What a wiseacre.
What I mean, like with the old BGG Con, it was one of those things where it was like, you never wanted to leave campus, right? But it sucked because like getting good food was tough.
We didn't want to leave campus because it was so far.
I left
to get
many
anything.
times. Yeah. I mean,
But-
it really was more like a.
But you had somebody with a car, Scott.
Everybody's got a car. Hey, we live in the world of Uber and Lyft, my friend. We all have
Oh,
cars.
okay. Well, can
Well,
I
and that
just
helps
have the
with
keys
that.
to your car? That'll be my Uber. I promise I'll return it with at least a quarter of a tank of gas.
Do you guys use Uber in your hometowns or not? No.
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 Does Lyft have driverless in Dallas?
No.
It
Here's
was
another
so cool
place.
in Vegas.
Mesa Maya Comida y Copas is very good.
They stopped with the
My favorite.
driverless because of the fact that we don't want the robots to take over the world.
That was not my experience riding in a driverless car in Vegas.
Shake Shack is very good. I want to keep going. I want to
Wait,
get.
no, I want to focus on Lance's joke. Can we all appreciate it for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, you can.
Let it wash over you.
Bob's Steak and Chop House must be good. There's no prices on the menu.
Oh, Bob, it's one of the best steakhouses in Dallas.
All right, yeah, Wagyu beef. I'm not going to get fed that.
All I'm hearing from you is that the food at the hotel is not going to be worth sticking around for.
I have not eaten at a single. I've never eaten at the hotel, so I don't know. I'm sure it's great though. It's like there's 5 restaurants in the hotel.
I'm
Hey,
sure
it's
it is
like
great.
You gotta find a
And
root
I have
food.
eaten
You
at
can
5.
possibly have.
And I have eaten at 560 many times, or 2 times, not many, and it's been great. And that's
Keith.
at the hotel, but it's not cheap.
Keith, we gotta find a Ruth Chris. Where is it?
Well, there's other
There is a
steakhouses.
but here's the thing: if you're gonna go to steakhouse, go to my favorite is Capital Grill. That is a chain, but it is very good.
I did have a steak with Rob at Gen Con, and it was fantastic.
Now, all of this is from a guy
Yeah.
who
Iron
subscribedly
Cactus-
does not like barbecue, as I recall.
But Pecan Lodge is the best. It's the best in the area.
All right.
Cane Rosso is very good pizza. Like it's that it's like, wood fired oven Italian style pizza. What else is over here? Fuzzies is very good. Tacos. Let's see. There's just a ton. Yeah, I mean, you could just go. This is a 10-minute drive. You'll be there before you even know it. Now, if you want to go further, I can recommend some other.
Well, this place has venison chops and
There's the
elk
Ruth Chris.
tenderloin.
But
Ooh, that
here's
sounds
the-
good.
Jeez.
I would go to Bob's first, but like it's Bob's, then Capital Grill, and then Ruth's Chris.
Bob's Burgers.
This YO Ranch sounds pretty good.
Why? Yeah, Wire Ranch is all right.
It's got
Is that?
elk and venison and stuff.
Yeah, if you want game meats, sure. As you go up the highway here, which is called 35, there's a couple places I'd like.
You're so excited. You're like, it's like you're in charge of it. Or something.
You just took the wind out of my sails. I'm trying to go on a roll and like I get the peanut gallery.
Well, you know what? I have to go upstairs real quick to check on my family. So you have without me, so you can go
Awesome.
and
But you're okay. Well, so
What?
there's another barbecue place I like nearby right here. Trying to remember the name.
or are you gonna forget what the names of these places are?
No,
Or
I'm trying to. It's got a funky name. Hold on, I'll find it.
like Scott Alden? Anyway,
Slow Bone. It's the Slow Bone.
Whoa,
This one's very good. In fact, I think this is the best side dishes out of any barbecue place that I've ever been to. The Slow Bone.
Strong words.
Which direction's Slow Bone? Let's see.
That's west.
You okay there, Rob?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's you slowly breaking down in the corner.
A little further away is Lockhart, which is fantastic as well. I even like it. And this is true smoked meat. There's I think they have sauce just because it's Dallas, but it's really a smoked place. So, and it's fantastic. Now, it's not that close.
How are the sides there,
about-
Scott?
Well, you know what? They've had I've had the what was it, like a jalapeno mac and cheese, and it was very good. Very good. They keep
Scott, if Lance is left, now's your perfect time to get more butt pictures in.
By the way, I was watching that. I agree.
I'm not ready
thought
for
it was. I thought it was hilarious, and when I saw the, I think it was the hot ones where they did it. I thought that was genius.
Yeah, it was pretty. And so it's a 10-minute drive the other direction. This is far from me. I don't go there that often, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, those sides do sound good at Slow Bone.
Oh yeah, the Slow Bone and the Slow Bone. It's sort of like a cafeteria style where you just go up and get what you want.
I'm so excited for next week.
If you guys can, this is Lucia. It's the best Italian place, but I don't know if you'll be able to get reservations. Just wanted to mention it. lot of the places down here. There's a pie place called Emporium Pies, which is
Ooh,
real
that
good.
sounds good.
What else?
And
Is that?
how far is that?
That's about a 10-minute Uber,
Okay.
10-minute Lyft.
I'm gonna miss our.
Another
Taco
place I
place
really
we
like
went
is called
to.
Oddfellows. It's down there too. This is called Bishop Arts. This whole area right here, and you can just, if you get dropped off, you can just walk the streets. Right, it's got that vibe. A lot of shops and stuff, restaurants.
So basically, you sign up, you get your badge, a program, and a compass.
Yes. Now I know these are not. I mean, I don't know. What does it say? How to do walkable? You get directions. I think walkable is it's sort of dangerous. I don't know. Like you see how the you're basically on the intersection of 3 highways, right? So it's a bit far to walk. Push the button. Oh, we also have these things called frog. What is it called? Frog cars or something like that. Let me find it. If you call them, it's free. You just give them a
What?
tip. Yeah, it's a free ride service. Let me get the name of it.
What's the catch?
Nothing.
I
I know,
but
right? No, there's nothing.
What?
There's no catch. There's no catch. It's free.
It's just what you have to wait 3 hours.
I don't know how long the wait is, but I don't think it's that bad because they're running around all the time, all over the place.
Is this a city sponsored thing?
No, but they
What's it called?
E-frogs. Here, I'll get-
E-frog?
Frog.
F-R-O-G.
Hold on.
All right. E-frog, short trip shuttle service.
Yeah, you just get this number, and they'll take you around downtown, Deep Ellum, downtown, Arts District.
Okay, so it's a set route they're on.
No, this zone. It's the zone, right? Which is basically everywhere where you are. Everywhere.
Cal zone?
See this? It's these. I think they make their money on ads, right? I can't see the pictures of the, and you just tip them.
Okay. That's so strange.
Yeah, it's weird. Right?
Does not compute.
Yeah, so I'll take anywhere. I should also mention our benefactors for the charity are here is Cafe Momentum. That is a nice place to go. What else? Serious Pizza is very good.
Oh, when you say ads, you mean because the cars themselves are billboards?
Yeah, they're ads, right? So,
I see.
right. And you do tip them. It's not free.
Well, if you don't tip them, it's free.
E-bar Tex. You want Tex-Mex? E-bar Tex-Mex is very good. God, I would love to drive you around, Lance.
How about this RJ Mexican
And drop you
hotel?
off somewhere.
Or
Yeah.
enchiladas. Those places any good?
El
They're
Phoenix
close.
is good for that. My favorite is still Uncle Julio's, which is a bit further away. But
I liked Uncle
not that-
Julio's.
It's not here. It is. Here's Uncle. I've actually starred Uncle Julio's there. Let me see how far that is from the.
Is that back in Grapevine then again?
No, it's
A
in
different
downtown.
one?
It's in downtown.
Okay.
It's 2 hours if you walk. 2 hours and 40
That's a
minutes.
walk, man.
Or let me remove these stops and go straight to Uncle Julio's. That would be a 9-minute drive. That's not bad.
Why don't you pull out the map a little farther and point out the French Quarter?
Wait, what?
If you take an Uber, 11 and a half hours.
Um,
I wonder if you could hire an Uber to I need you to drive me to Texas.
I'm sure you can find
Sure,
something.
you could.
A buddy of mine got one to go to Detroit before, and that was like 3 hours. So I imagine as long as one of them is willing to pick up the ride, which is going to be some fat cash, there definitely would.
If you want Cajun, Papado is our resident Cajun place. I really like it. What else is around?
Tell me a restaurant that you don't like.
I was going to say, Scott, are you a bit of a foodie? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, Dallas has the most food, most restaurants per capita, and I don't cook, so I like a lot of these places.
Okay.
Oh, a really cool, innovative taco place is Velvet Taco. That's a little further, but not much. The Old Monk is a good brew pub if you want like pub food and beer. Let's see.
Where's your house?
I live over here, not far, right here.
Can we have the address, please? Just for
You see-
esoteric purposes.
You can see right there. I mean, here's the thing: BGG is listed. You got my address. Here's my house right here. Not that far. But I'm
How
not.
meta would that be? Is if he could focus in.
We're not going to my. Oh, Barcadia is for. Oh God! Wait, the cider house. If we want to do an arcade thing, Bishop Cidercade is real close to the hotel, and it is fantastic. It is one of the best free arcades I've ever been to, where you pay a cover and you just play forever. It has 20 pinballs, maybe 30 pinball machines, and every video game you can think of.
But every one I can think of? I challenge accepted.
Go for it. I mean, honestly, go there and you tell me if you can find something you wanted to play.
All right. The
They
first
even had
Street
a
Fighter.
major Havoc. I don't know if they had the first. They might have had the first Street Fighter. They have a lot. It is massive. It's a big.
The first Street Fighter is garbage, by the way. I mean,
Oh, they
I
got
mentioned
Kiss
that.
Pinball.
Now, if you want to do off-site stuff, Sixth Floor Museum is good. That is right across the street. Daily Plaza, right
I
across the street.
think I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah, you walk through it. It takes 5 minutes. Now the Sixth Floor Museum takes longer, but this you can just walk through. And yeah, you want to go watch a case happen? Go to the courthouse. You want to bail bonds? We got you covered. The street over here, a little bit, a few dozen bail bond places. What else? The Perot signs.
There is a bail bonds place there.
Yeah, just so when Lance when he needs it, we'll have him covered.
Well, I'm
Why
afraid,
are you busting balls on me now? What did I do?
There's Cafe Memento, by the way, right across, and a E-Frog will take you there.
I'm afraid if I'm walking with him on the street, I'll get arrested for walking with an exotic animal.
Good one.
Cool. There is a Bob's in the Omni, guys, but I like the original Bob's better, just because.
A Bob's what?
But there is a Bob's in the Omni,
A Bob's?
in the Omni Hotel, which is right.
OG Bob's, man. Respect.
But yeah, you got to go to OG Bob's.
Huh.
And if you go to OG Bob's, you must get the brownie sundae, like savor them.
I don't like brownies.
Okay, well, more for me.
Richard got disconnected.
Take it off
We need
the
to let him
top.
back in, Lance.
All right,
There you go.
There we go.
And I'm going to go to bed because it's 1:20 in the morning and I have to work in 5 hours.
Wheesh.
So,
All right then.
Good night, people.
Cool. See you soon.
See most of you except for Forrest in a week.
One of
Are you
these
coming
days.
Yeah,
One of these
dude.
days.
You coming on Tuesday?
Yep, Tuesday. Tuesday at noon is when I get in to DFW. So
Oh, we couldn't make it to Love.
I'm not going to pay the $1 billion extra and catch
Oh,
connections.
love was ridiculous.
I'll take the cheaper flight that's direct. And
How are you gonna
non-stop.
get? Do you have anybody you can team up with to get a ride from?
I'm
DFW?
going to get an Uber.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
that's the
three
thing that
of us,
sucks. I
so-
get in on Monday, and there's nobody getting in on Monday. So
There's
it's just
3
like-
of us anyway, so
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to need a whole damn car anyway.
Yeah.
So
Cool. It's a bit of a ride. It's like 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes.
yeah, we'll live. I'll take 40 minutes over changing a freaking plane every day.
Yep.
So all right, good night.
Cool.
Hi,
Right.
Kate.
Bye.
Yeah, Paul Tompkins, man. He's Team Geek in it.
How far away did you say DFW was, Aldi?
In a good day, 30 minutes. It's probably more
Yeah.
like 40, 50. Well, depending on what time you come in.
What's that, Paul Tompkins? You want to pick me up at the airport? Well, I appreciate you offering.
He's a good man.
Well, no, he actually hasn't. That was me just, just
Trying to
What
mooch a ride as
Getting in on
always.
Monday?
yeah.
There's got to be other people coming in on Monday.
I haven't found a single person that is.
I didn't see your post on BGG. Did you post anything?
No, I'm not going to post and so some rando can kidnap me and take my kidney. No, that's not happening.
You do have sweet kidneys. It's true.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
there a lot of that going on BGG?
Well, there will be now after the South Park episode.
That's right.
Little do they know.
Opened up the world of South Park.
So, are
Yeah.
you expecting like what are you expecting from this, Scott? Like
From what?
well, I mean, new members, people visiting. Like, what
Oh,
do you
from the
honestly
South Park
expect?
show?
I mean, I think the fact that they dumped in like a metric ton of board games is going to make people go, "What are all these board games?" And they're going to search for them, right?
Well,
So-
the fact that they also like point blank BGG,
Yeah.
BGG. They mentioned game night.
yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean,
Do you have any expectations for what the
No.
next few days will hold?
not
I'll be really interested to see what
I
what
mean-
it does to the
Yeah,
numbers.
I mean, I'll start watching it now and see if I can notice anything.
Yeah, because I'd be really fascinated to know. Because I mean, that's huge.
Now, I mean, here's the deal: BGG got mentioned, but a lot of other stuff did too, right? Like it's a 3 second thing.
Yeah,
Well,
but if they start googling any of those board games, I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah,
not.
if you
going-
Google any board game, well, yeah, especially Twilight Struggle. Like Twilight Struggle is by far the biggest exposed game. And Blood Rage. I mean, they mentioned they probably mentioned like 15 games.
What the hell is that noise?
My cat found a die and knocking it around on the floor behind me.
So when did this episode come out?
Tonight.
I guess. Oh, it did.
Where's your spray bottle?
Whatever. There's,
I mean, I think it's. Well, I don't know what the viewership of South Park is. Like, what's the crossover of viewers that know board games and viewers that don't?
you're asking me?
Whoever.
Let's see. South Park average views
7.
Million.
at a 1.7 rating, whatever the hell that means.
That means that the
It's,
one if I remember the old ratings things, that means that when people are watching, like people who are watching TV, like 1.7% of everybody watching TV is watching that at that time.
Oh, really? Is that what those numbers meant? I've
If
heard
I
that my whole
remember-
life.
If I remember what if that's
It's like 900,000.
Yeah, so I mean, like worldwide or like nationwide, everybody who's watching TV, they're watching that. That's what that rating is. Which is quite good.
That's awesome.
So just think about that when you hear about like the Super Bowl having like a 26 share. That means 1/4 of the people in the world that are watching TV are watching the Super Bowl. Now, how they get those stats, I have no idea.
Make them all up.
Isn't it that whole Nielsen thing?
Yeah, the little Nielsen boxes on top of your TV.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a thing anymore. But
They sent me $1 once in the mail. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, I was supposed to fill something out, but I didn't. I just kept $1.
Oh,
I'm going to hell for that one.
no, you're gonna go to hell for a lot.
No,
And
that's
I
the
don't think that's
straw.
gonna be the
That's
one that
straw
pushes you
broke
over
the
the edge.
camel's back was that Nielsen. I'll be standing at the pearly gates. You're gonna be like, "What's this? Where's that $1? Did you spend it?"
No, you'll be on the way in. It's like, okay, well, go on. Wait, hold on.
We got Nielsen over here. He wants his $1 back. Where is it?
I'm sure he's begging for his $1. My $1, you son of a bitch. But no, I mean BGG. I'm excited. I'm excited about the new venue.
I mean, it's unreal, right? Like, I mean, that too.
I'm excited to check out the new Glasscock room. And the nerve center, if you will.
I think I have my own room, but I don't know where it is. My own game room.
Ooh.
But I really don't know where it is on the map. So I've got to
Well, that's where we're gonna theoretically have the Alaboom, right? Where it'll be kind of quiet in there.
I hope so.
We can play like Bell Roddy or something. Damn you, Bell Roddy.
Damn you, Bill Roddy. With the new rules.
Yes, with the new rules. Yeah, I mean BGG Con is just always so weird, man. I'm always like super excited to be there, and then like I just kind of lose track of time, and all of a sudden, I mean the one thing I look forward to is the flea market. That's like that's the one thing that I get excited about.
Did you do any of the virtual flea market?
No, is that a thing?
Yeah, that is a thing. You
I
can pre-buy.
haggling. I like the and there's those two guys that whenever they see me, they always have, now after like 4 or 5 years, they always have a pile set aside for me as soon as they see me. It's like it's like, I think I got something that you're gonna want, and like they always have something really rare. So, and then like that's like where I got my like in shrink copy of Broadsides and Boarding Parties. Like the guy had one. And, I probably paid. That's still unopened, mind you. So the guy could have sold me an empty box. For all I know.
Filled it
Box
with
or rocks?
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about shipping, Aldi? Is it going to be like the other hotel?
There's a FedEx there, yeah. So the shipping is there. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm not sure. I think it's pretty good.
You know what I'll have? I'll have
Ship
Kevin.
all those-
I'll have Kevin Burkhartsmeyer, who will be driving back from with his trailer.
You've got every
Jeez.
angle, Lance.
So I mean, we'll have to drive. I'll have to make like a 45-minute drive out to his house, to pick him up. But I mean, then I can hang out with Kevin and I can eat some beef jerky and play some games with him. So
Happy mouth.
I can make a day out of it.
Yeah. That's nice.
Hey, that's the reason why you're gonna have like 2.5 dozen eggs.
Eggs. The habanero eggs are coming.
The habanero eggs are coming.
Oh, those
Hopefully.
things look good.
You guys better watch out. Me and Lance are gonna eat 40 eggs.
Well, no, it's only what I've had 2,
No one can eat 40 eggs.
and I think
Paul
there's 30,
Newman
I think
can.
there's 32 eggs in there. I think there's 32
40?
eggs.
Oh, 32. So pretty close to.
Yeah, because like 2 of them, one of them I cut up and used in a salad before I put it in there, and another one, like when I peeled it, it crumbled apart, and I just was like, screw it, and I just ate it. But the other ones, all the rest of them, and then I've had 2. So, and like just one to see how they're coming, and then they were already tasting pretty good after a week, and so then I was like, and I was staring at the jar, and I was like, I can have one more, and so I did.
Are those pretty easy to make?
Yeah, it's the time. You
What
just
is
have
it?
to- What is it? They're eggs.
Yes, I assume you're talking about that picture of a jar you keep
Pickled
posting.
eggs.
Pickled eggs. Pickled eggs, baby.
Picture of a jar.
Pickled eggs.
Jar with
Okay.
weird brain thing in there.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you use, but I mean, like I take a little vinegar and water, and I dice up some chili peppers and some habanero and some serrano pepper and some jalapenos, and like dice them up real fine, and then take it like a really I guess would be like a very very smelly yellow onion, and then I work that all up, and then I take the eggs and I hard boil like 2 or 3 dozen medium sized eggs. That's the trick. You use medium sized eggs. Don't go to a not large, because they're too big. They don't absorb it fast enough. And if they sit in the vinegar and the water too long, they get all mushy. And then because you want the egg to have, you want it to be, good. I mean, like you don't want it to be all mushy, because then it's like, ugh, it doesn't taste good. The texture, it needs to be good. But anyway, so yeah, then I just usually then I throw the whole mix in, but in basically a half white vinegar, half water concoction. Sometimes I'll just like grab like a jar of peppercini peppers, and I'll just and use the juice and everything that's in there. Just throw them all in there, and then let them sit for about 2.5 weeks, and then they've absorbed the juices, and they taste amazing.
So Barry Dublé and Berkey are driving them down.
Yep, and I'm picking up Barry Dublé from the airport in Fargo on Friday, actually. So
Why aren't you driving down with them?
because Fun Again bought me a ticket, I guess. And I don't want to be singing "Moving Right Along," with Barry. And
It's like a
Kevin.
2-day drive from Minnesota.
It's a 1-day drive. I've made the drive. It's about 20 hours. I've made the drive from Fargo to Dallas way back in the day. When me and my girlfriend at the time had to go down there for something. It was it wasn't like it was a great time. I mean, it was like there was definitely. I remember we made it about 2/3 of the way, and we were both really, really tired, and so we just went to a hotel room parking lot and just fell asleep in the car for a while. Took a 2-3 hour nap. But then we made the rest of the way.
But not the hotel room. You just slept in the car.
Yeah.
You don't need a bed to sleep.
No, you can just tilt the seat back, baby. Close your eyes. That's I've told people this many times. My secret power is I can fall asleep anywhere. When I decide it's time to sleep, it's just time to sleep, and I just go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I hear these people, it's like, oh, I just tossed and turned inside my bed for hours. I couldn't fall asleep. I'm like, wow, you're crazy. Right now, I could I could lean back in this chair and I could probably fall asleep in 5 minutes.
Is it called sleep or hibernation?
Well, it's a little column A, little column B. I mean,
you regulate your heart. You can regulate your heartbeat.
Yeah, no, seriously. I could tilt this back like this, and I could just.
Try it. Let's see what happens.
I would totally.
Maybe
fall
we
asleep.
Let's do an experiment. Let's do an experiment. How fast does it take Lance to fall asleep? We need a monitor.
Right.
We need a breath monitor.
I gotta get up in 2 hours to go to work. I'll see you guys later.
Have a good one, man.
Bye.
Robert, I'll see you soon, brother.
See you next week.
Yeah, Robert, I'll see you. Take it easy, pal.
But yeah, I could just, especially, just, and I'll just close my eyes, and that's why people hate going on car trips with me, because if I'm not driving, I just put my head against the window and I fall asleep. I teleport to the next location.
Possible.
How is it possible? You just close your eyes.
Yeah.
I just and people always say I just can't fall asleep. I was like, that's just really weird, I mean, it was every single time in Essen, everybody was like, oh, the time change, I just can't fall asleep. My body feels like I should be awake. It's I lay down in my bed, my body said, thank you, this sounds amazing, another 12 hours of sleep, sign me up. we just I turn on a wrestling podcast or something on my phone just so I have something to listen to as I fall asleep, and then I'm out. Hey, that was I heard Forrest's voice there for a moment. No, I don't know. Sleep is awesome, dude. It's so good. So
I got this year.
I got attention. I got ADHD, and so I sit there and I can't shut my brain off. No matter what I do, I'll sit there and I just can't shut it off. Sit there for hours.
Well, here's let me give you a hint. Try not sitting in bed and laying down. It might help you.
Oh shit! Is that it?
Is that all?
Yeah.
Damn.
And you're an educator.
I got a lawn chair in my bed I've been trying to sleep in for years.
I love the fact that you are totally of the two of us, you are the straight man to my comedy. It's really? Damn it. I knew I was doing something wrong. Thank you so much for the insight.
I live to serve.
Yeah.
Have you played that Stargate SG1 board game? Behind you?
Stargate 1?
He's got a Stargate.
Oh God, no! But I played the game that it rips off. It's this crappy game that I don't even remember the name of it. They pretty much just rethemed it to Stargate SG1. I've never played it, but I looked at it. Let's see, I don't think I have the other one. Yeah. Fleet Games Inc. made another game, and I'm pretty sure they just copied and pasted Stargate onto it.
Have you played Careers?
Careers?
Yeah.
Nope.
Careers is pretty good. It's ahead of its time.
Really?
It actually has some Eurogame type mechanics in it.
I will bring that to class tomorrow and get that played.
Yeah, you really should play it. It's fun. And if it's an old one, your career actually you should bust open the the choice of your careers. Oh God, you have the dude.
Gotta have the dude. The game's great. Careers. Parker Brothers game of optional goals.
What year is it?
Oh crap. Let's see. This is not listed. It must be on the rules.
It must be on the inside cover. Not a good spot for the mic.
Oh,
Yep.
so dusty. Ooh, that is a love. Oh, stupid microphone.
So the board looks terrible.
Oh, God.
Everybody should play careers once in their life.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it like very much. Feedback.
Nice Tebow jersey.
Tebow jersey. Nice. I think you've unplugged yourself, I think. Or muted yourself. Yep.
So Scooter,
That worked. Fantastic.
do you have Dots pretzels down there?
Not ringing a bell.
All right, I'm gonna bring a big sack of those. Those are really good pretzels.
You guys hear me?
Pretzels are making me thirsty. No, I don't know that one. No, I've never seen a dot.
No, I'm just trying to think of stuff that the snackies that are a thing up here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of that you can't.
A North Dakota thing, or
Yeah, North Dakota stuff.
Dakota thing.
See, Dots pretzels, like they're made in North Dakota, but like I've seen them in Utah and stuff. So it's just like they do make their way around. So, but they're it's like you wouldn't think that pretzels would be that good, but it's just like, oh man, they're so good. They have a weird spice on them or something.
I should do a Bucky's run. You get the Bucky Bites and the Bucky Nuggies.
Oh, those are quite good.
Oh,
I remember you telling me about those, and I was just like, these can't be that good. And I ate like 7,000 of them or something.
We lose Forrest?
I think he must have accidentally.
Now I'm really sorry that I told him to get the game. He's like, it was just a nightmare.
Yep.
Just destroyed it.
Welcome to Forest World.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the question I just asked. Do you remember what the attendance was for BGG Spring this year? Jen is trying to get some kind of gauge for how much stuff she should bring, based on what she did at BGG Spring versus,
Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you in a minute. Hold on. I have the numbers. I have the power.
Knowledge is power.
Did she do all right? Was she happy?
Oh, she did great. Yeah. Okay. She was super happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's the only person there that's kind of selling that stuff, right? I mean,
there are more glass working people at BGG. Sorry. Goes without saying. She should try to get in the artists Gen Con area. Go to Gen Con with you.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, why not?
If we went to Gen Con, I'm sure we'd just mooch off of somebody and get a table at their booth like we've done at Essen in the past.
You say that, but I mean, it'd be like a nice little spot for you to what's what we're looking for here. Like it would be a good spot for you to drop off your games and stuff while you're running, and and then you could even set up a little table, and you could set up your keep them coming. Play your 5 minutes of a game with Rado, and then just get moving. Take your picture. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about it. We might go to Gen Con next year. We didn't this year because it started the day after she got back from spending a month in the UK. So she just didn't want to spend more time on the road. But she won't be doing that next year, so we might go. We'll see.
Wow, that'll be nice. It'll be nice to actually meet her. Since I've never
you're going to meet her next week?
Yes, I know. That's what I said. It'd be nice to actually
meet yes, in general, yes. She is nice to meet. I have found that to be the case. She's a charming and pleasant lady. And I guess Forrest isn't coming back.
Well,
He was not impressed by that careers suggestion.
good riddance. Let's be fair, Gary.
So
We
should
all were getting a little tired of the act. So, So are there any games you're looking forward to actually playing while you're there? They're Scott Olden.
I want to play D-Crew.
Diphtheria?
D-Crew.
Oh,
Die-Crew.
D-Crew.
The Crew. Yeah, D-Crew.
the crew.
Gosh, there was so many things. I want to play Maracaibo. I want to play Cooper Island. I want to play.
Game Opera.
I want to play the Cities game, City Skyline. That's a co-op. I want to
Oh,
play
it's very good.
Soviet Kitchen.
Yeah, Soviet Kitchen's really good.
I can't put my hands on the tennis now. I'm looking.
Well, can you see them by any chance?
Well, the database isn't right.
Who's running that database for
That would
you?
be me.
No, well, good job.
I don't know what I did to it though. Hold on, I'll find it.
We wait with
I
Brett.
don't. I mean, I would say it's going to be more than double.
More than double. Okay.
More than double people. I mean, I think spring was 1,500, but I don't remember. And this is going to be 3,500.
What? I mean, this is just a big stepping stone for you, right, man? I mean, to bigger and better things.
Oh, Forrest is here.
Oh,
Stepping stone. I mean, here's the deal. BGG Con has a limited size. It's not
that's a
going
limited what?
size. It's not going. It's not going into. Well, I'll never say never, but I would not like it to go into a convention hall.
Well, haven't you already gotten bigger than you would have sworn 5 years ago that you were ever going to get?
I mean, I thought 1,000 was the cap. I mean, 3,000, 3,500 people. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We've added 20 more shelves of games. So we're bringing 70 shelves, I think.
Yes, you were so excited about that when you first got on. 900 new games, as I recall.
Oh man, it's so many. So crazy. I mean, I go down the shelf and I'm like, it just boggles my mind that these physical products exist. And they all came out last month
Yes.
in one place. I mean, Lance, that was your first lesson. Lance, you didn't really talk about it that much. But just the crowd.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, like, I actually got some feedback from people that thought I was full of myself. So I mean, I felt bad about that. But I mean,
Oh,
What
because
did
you
you
were saying Gen Con.
well, yeah, because I was just like, okay, it was cool, you know. I was just like, and I take nothing away from Essen. I thought that it was very neat. It was cool to be in like a different country. Like the aspect of being in a different country and being at a board game convention was just like a really cool situation to be in, and I really enjoyed like the food and like meeting people that were like, you know, like fans of my videos from way back when, and they were super excited to see me, and which I thought was like, you know, nice and everything like that. And that sounds like I'm really full of myself, but it was really cool that like they were, you know, they took the time to talk to me and what have you. But for me, it's like it was like everybody, and maybe it's just one of those things where it got built up in my head, you know. But I mean, everybody was always saying, "Oh, it's just the most amazing thing." It's just like, you know, you can't imagine. Oh, you just, yeah. I was like, oh, you know, I've been to Gen Con. Oh, it doesn't even compare. It's not even the same thing. It's a whole different world, you know. I'm like, oh, well, that really sounds cool. And I was just kind of like, yeah, this is just kind of like Gen Con. You know, I mean, it's like Gen Con in Germany.
I think you're a board game hipster.
Yeah,
You know,
thanks.
cold things are. You like to.
I've
make
been saying
your
that
own.
for years, Mr. I hate pandemic. I hate anything that's too popular.
Oh, he's such a hipster.
Oh God, you know, or I could just have an opinion. You know, that is structured out in my own.
Hipsters have opinions.
What?
Hipsters have opinions.
Yes, but I deride your name.
Oh, look at the hipster using a big word, deride.
Well, anyway, okay, whatever. I mean, you know, so you know, Essen changed my life.
What do you mean?
First time I went, I was like, I had no clue that. I mean, Essen was my first big con. Right?
Oh, well.
Yeah. The Gathering of Friends was the first one that changed my life, and then Essen.
I wouldn't know. I've never been invited to.
Invert that though.
Yeah.
Gathering of Friends first, then
Yeah,
Essen.
funny, Lance, how we tend to know some people who go to this invite-only event yearly, and yet
I brought it up.
no invites coming.
That's fine.
Oh my god! Now my goal is to one day get invited before Lance and just.
Oh, I would say, you know what? It's like I would much rather be the last person ever that got invited than just.
Oh, is it too cool for you now, hipster?
Yeah, I'll never belong to a club that'll have me.
Yeah, I'll never belong. Yeah, exactly.
As a member. Yeah, I should not have brought that up. Anyway, a convention in a hotel changed my life. Let's just say random, whatever. It could be anything. But I have gone to other conventions. Like I went to OwlCon in like the late 90s, and it was dreadful.
Oh, OwlCon.
Yeah, like at Rice University. I don't know where it was. I forget where it was. But I was like, this is not fun. Like I hated it. I wanted to leave. And my friend drove, so I couldn't leave. But then I went to the hotel convention. And when you stay at the hotel and you're immersed in the games all day and all night, it changes the perspective of the fun of it. And then Essen of the huge convention centers where you're checking out all the new games all day and all night, checking out and buying them all during the day, and then playing them all night. That's what the old Essen was for me back in the 2000s. Now it's just work. So I guess you didn't really attend it as an attendee. You weren't like you were working. So it's the different.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, it was just.
No, it sure is, because when you have your own control of your own schedule, and you can just meander and play the games and look at the games you want to play, it totally changes it, right? I mean, unless I'm mistaken, you kind of were busy all day every day, right? Like you didn't really have time to go off on your own, and do your thing, did you?
Yeah, I had an okay amount, but I mean, but it just, it just, I don't know, dude. I mean, it's just like it was really awesome to be there, and
I'm not trying to force you to say it was amazing. I mean, I think working a show is different than being attendee of a show.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with being there in any way, shape, or form. I will say this. When I was able to go to Gen Con as just an attendee this last Gen Con, that was like the best Gen Con I had in years.
There you go. Point proved. Point made.
So, I mean, there could be some truth to what you're saying.
Yeah. If you don't have like 90 responsibilities on your shoulders and you're just like, fucking hey, it's Gen Con, let's do whatever.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm thinking about doing next year, is just taking a year off in the Bonanza and just volunteering for a booth or something like that.
Well, that's still work.
Yeah, that's
but it's not. It's like
it's nowhere near what you normally do.
I'm up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to bed at like 2 a.m. and every moment of that is not every moment, but the overwhelming majority.
You're running around with a camera pointed in people's face.
Yeah, like if I'm doing in a booth and talking games or greeting or doing whatever for 4 or 5, 6 hours a day, that's and then I have the rest of the day to myself. Like I just like to go back to that for a year.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like the whole aspect of like being there with my daughter, and we were just wandering around, and I was just like, yeah, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And she was like, oh, I want to go over here. Okay, let's go do that. And just like, she's like, I'm bored. Let's get something to eat. Yeah, let's go get something to eat. Just like, yeah, that was I had a lot of fun.
My first year, I went with two gamer friends, the ones who actually introduced me to Michelle. We went. This is before I knew Michelle. We're like, we go to Essen. It's like pilgrimage, man. We got to go. We heard about it. It's like, let's do it. And we went. And then the next year I went with Michelle. And those were like the best two Essens of my life. It was 2000 and 2002 because no one was traveling in 2001. So. And
now you're working stiff.
It's different. And it's exciting too. I mean, I love it. It's in a different way. I like to meet everybody. It's a little overwhelming sometimes, right? Like I liked going in the back room and just kind of chilling out and taking butt pictures of Lance. I mean, you're kind of like punch drunk at that point, right? Wasn't it like the last day? Lance,
I no, it was like second to last day. If I
Saturday.
remember correctly.
well, I was punch drunk early this year.
Yeah, you and Lincoln just full of each other. Just thinking you're just so hilarious.
It was hilarious for me.
That's fine. I just
Yeah. And we were playing the tennis game, right? Like we had, I don't know. That's like the things I'll remember about
tennis
us.
game was fun.
I got the large tennis game. We almost threw it away because we thought it was an old tripod.
Yeah.
One of those sacks, right? Because it came in a tripod sack. Luckily, we covered it yesterday.
Awesome.
I can't wait to play the big version.
That's what your wife keeps telling me.
God.
Like, I can't stay online with that nonsense.
Yeah, that's a good place to end, I think.
What
For
do you
the
respond to that with?
Paul wants to know what the tennis game is called, Aldi.
Set
Game
match?
set match.
Game set match. Game set
Game
match.
set match.
It's the best 20 euros we ever spent.
Oh, it's so good.
It's
It's so dumb. It's so stupidly good.
But here's the thing: they've been trying to make tennis games for years, like Affen Tennis and like Tennis Masters, and it's just they don't like. I really like the Affen Tennis, but it's super hard. The monkey tennis.
Yeah.
That's
That's like one of those games that like that's one of my grails. Even if the game sucks, it's a grail that I want.
Which one?
Affen. Like I've never been able to track down a copy.
Oh, I have two.
You like it so much, right?
It's not good. It's not a good game. You want to like it, but it's not good. Good enough, I should say.
Wasn't it like some like catapult or something that it uses, or I forget. Somebody was trying to explain to me how it actually works.
I forget. It's been so long since. But here's the thing: I don't care to pull it out because it's such a pain in the ass to play. But I'll play a game set match.
Well, it's because all you're doing is flicking. But we've talked about this before. But the thing about game set match is that it actually fairly. I mean, I'll say this. If you actually tried to play a full game of tennis, you'd probably get bored of it real quickly because of the fact that it's just like, okay, 15-0ing. Because to score a point can take a long time just to score a point.
You play just a couple sets or something.
Yeah, so to play an actual like full tennis match, there's no damn way that you'd ever play it for a full thing. But Paul, yes, we have copies of Game Set Match there. So the thing about it is that you would but it's only good for like playing like 5 rounds. Just like okay, let's just or just playing to see who can score the most points. But it does very accurately represent the tension of trying to make the miracle shot, trying to get the ace, trying to do the whole thing.
Cross-court shot.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And when you take the easy shot and just get it into just because you have to take the easy shot, you're setting somebody up for a nice easy shot to if the advantage is against you, then you've got to make a miracle shot, to save yourself, kind of thing. So
it's not a pretty game.
No, it's a flat board, but they did themselves such a huge favor by just making it a non-fold.
You know what? Game set match is not in the database.
Really?
I don't think so.
It's been out for like 2 years, though. I remember.
I thought we looked it up, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not game set match, right? It's set and match.
Set and match. Okay.
Oh dear. Good thing you double checked.
Yeah. Well, I looked up game set match, and there's no game. There's 2 games that are called that. They're both from like the 90s.
All right. With that, I'm gonna head out for the night, gentlemen. I'm dead tired.
Good.
We go upstairs, unfold my lawn chair, and try and get some sleep.
Cool, dude. Sorry I won't see you next week, but maybe next week.
It's a shame. Wish you could make it. Wish you could get that ride.
Yeah, wasn't Jonathan Gilmore offering a free ride to somebody?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Johnny G, baby.
That's kind of an interesting idea, though, right? Like,
I contemplated really hard, but I just don't have the PTO with my kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they get sick. All right, guys, have fun.
Your kids get sick.
Yeah, they get sick too much. I got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. They're licking carpet or whatever. That was not the right experience. All right, good night.
Good night.
What?
I agree.
No, I need to make a playlist of things I like need because I always get caught like when should we play and I don't know, and then I'll pull out my 5-minute decrew game.
But that's what you do though. You just
And I
travel
love playing
around
the same
playing.
game.
I mean, I don't think I've ever played a game with you that lasts more than a half an hour.
You forgot we played Santa Maria.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We played that. I really wanted that game to work. Banned Words, remember that? Played it like 5 times. It's weird because Banned Words came out and I kind of like it almost worked, but not quite. And then, like, was it last year? The other version of Banned Words came out from Check Games. What was that called?
I assure you, I don't know.
It was the dungeon game where you made a list of words that the other team couldn't say.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now.
What was the
Dungeon Scrolls.
It was Dungeon something.
I think
don't know.
Scrolls.
Scrolls? Okay. Huh. But
I
it
could
worked.
be wrong though.
That worked. Which is weird because Banned Words is the exact same game. Kabuki, what was it? She will know.
Santa Maria could have been a really good game.
What?
I like Santa Maria. What do you mean?
It was just I don't know. I haven't played it with the expansion. I don't know. It was one of those games after I played it once, I never had to play it again. So I mean,
You're
which
weird.
means
So the one
that,
time
like, I mean, the game itself was fun. Like, I mean, I didn't hate my time playing it, but I mean, so it was an okay game. It was a good game, but it could have been great. And I don't know what would have propelled it into great for me. But I mean, it was one of those things where it didn't get into great for me. I don't know.
Oh, I want to play the Magnificent.
That's good.
That's what's his name. Same designer as
Magnificent.
Santa Maria.
Theme is non-existent in that game. Not that you care about that.
The Magnificent?
Santa Maria is my number 22 highest ranked game of all time.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Pretty high.
It is
good. I'm glad you love it, man. That's awesome.
Oh, I do love it so much.
Have you played any of the expansions?
Yes, I have played it with the expansion.
There's a new
I don't
one.
think it's going to change Lance's mind. It adds some cool stuff. It adds a very strange thing too, where one player suddenly is controlling the natives of South America, trying to defend their home from the encroaching, which is really kind of odd. And yet it's still a Care Bear friendly Euro. It's just one player's playing a pretty radically different game all of a sudden.
Right, yeah.
And everybody else can steal from him. But I wouldn't say that the expansion is necessary to get. I think it's got plenty of game already.
Yeah.
I'm always under the impression that expansions are like the stuff they took out of the game, and then when it gets popular, like, okay, we'll put that stuff back in.
So I think there was another expansion this year, right?
There was a tiny little, just a deck of cards.
Okay.
That gives everybody a unique starting ability.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to put it back out on the shelf. I haven't played it.
It's good stuff. Nice and crunchy. Just the perfect level of crunch.
Almost a little too much for me. Although we did play it we started playing it like 11 or 12.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
So at least not for the first time. Winding down.
I think Lincoln.
I'm thinking about stuff, but I can't.
Lincoln has
remember.
a Phil Walker Harding game that has not been announced yet, but I think he's allowed to play it with people. I need to double check with him, but he really liked it, so maybe I'll get that from him.
Okie doke.
Prototype.
I'm listening to.
You gonna bring your and Phil's game, Lance?
Phil's not gonna be there, and because of he sent me a huge email, and I have to read through of some changes that we're making, and then it won't be there. But We'll get it figured out.
Okay.
You played the
Oh.
Florenza dice game, Richard?
I'm sorry. What?
Florenza dice game?
Yeah, it's nice. Wait, Lorenzo Il Magnifico?
Florenza, the dice game.
Oh, Florenza. Yes, I have it. I haven't played it yet. I had a hard time getting through the rules. It actually seems fairly daunting.
Oh, okay.
And I think I heard somewhere that it can like take up to 90 minutes,
Oh,
even though it's just a little roll and write. So I don't know if it's one of these, hey, we're going to go super heavy type
Right.
things. I do want to try it before the month is out.
there's definitely a point in a roll and write where I feel like too much. Like Dino World for me was like, I can't make it. Like it's just too hard. I'm like, I have all these options, like a million of them, and I can't. I'll just draw that, whatever. Just one little bit of, because you have like potentially like 5 or 6 things you can do on a turn.
Yeah.
Too much brain power needed.
Oh,
Oh,
poor Scott.
I really wanted to like Dino World because I love that theme.
Wanted to love what?
I wanted to love Dino World because I love the theme of it.
Dino World was kind of pushing it. Dino World is, you dare not play with the pencil because you'll just constantly keep rethinking everything.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm like,
If you're allowed an eraser.
I'm playing in pen, so I'm like, I'm done. I made my move. And then I'm like, oh, I broke the rules, right? Everybody's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, yeah, exactly. How did I do that? And then I'm 3/4 of the way in and I can't undo it. And
Yeah. It's true.
I will say it again. I think I said it last week. The Copenhagen, the dice game is awesome.
I believe you did say that last week.
Very
Can't
good.
believe I haven't played it.
You'll
I
play
really
next week.
liked regular Copenhagen.
Yeah, you'll play it next week.
And I really like Copenhagen.
Well, the dice game's better. I like Copenhagen.
Yes, I think you said that. And I'm like,
I know.
what?
So I'll just reiterate. Copenhagen, the dice game. Very, very, very good.
All right. Well, we definitely won't play that.
Nope.
So
Okay,
stay
good
tuned. If you're watching this, we're going to try to do a live one from the Scott Alden.
Oh, really?
Glasscock room.
Glasscock 2.
Glasscock 2.
Part 2.
Glasscock Dose.
The redo.
We're not going to do it from Scott's super swanky penthouse suite.
I don't have the penthouse suite this year.
Oh, no.
I downgraded myself because I knew I wouldn't use it. Like it's
You're a
just-
man of the
let someone
people.
else- Let someone
No
else.
bum chickawawa, huh? Okay, well, that's fair enough.
You remember
Although-
that suite, right, Lance? I think you and I both went up.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we're
That place was
supposed to-
crazy.
I will miss that suite. I have to admit that is a perfect layout for me. Although the new penthouse suites are beautiful, huge, massive things. I'm like, I will never use it. Let someone
Well,
else.
you could have used it to film the weekly Alaboom.
There you go. You could have treated us, but I know.
Treat yourself.
I don't do my plans around the weekly Alaboom at the convention.
What?
I'm
we
sorry.
We screwed it up
What?
so bad last year.
Oh,
What?
yeah. that was-
shocker! I don't do that. Yeah, shocker.
Oh yeah, that was dumb.
Well, second time's a charm. I'll see you guys next week.
See you,
Yeah.
man.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hang out. I'm ending the broadcast. Good night, everybody. See you next week.